Double checking. Are we live? Are we live? Hello, hello. Can people hear me? People can hear me. People can see me. Hello. Hello, hello. Can people see me? Can people hear me? Double checking. Let's talk Monster Girls. Yes. Let's talk Monster Girls. Hello. Okay, one thing I am actively frustrated about right this second is that my YouTube chat is not working. Let me get my... I want to see a chat box. Hold on. I want to make sure the chat box is up. I don't know why it does this every time. Streamlabs just refuses to work with YouTube half the time. Oh, wait. There it is. There it is. Wow. Okay, here we go. Let's remove that. There we go. Audio is good. Hello. Hello. Been watching the Slayers anime series for the first time. God, I think that means Slayers anime. God, Our Revolution, and Our Bad. Yeah, no. I actually, Slayers is my favorite. No sound? No. Really? Hold up. Can you hear me? Yeah, because y'all can hear me, right? Hello? You got me spooked. I'm scared. I want to make sure that y'all can hear me. Cool shirt. Thank you. It's okay. Okay, good. Good, good. Oh, fantastic. Excellent. 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 Okay. As you can see, I put you guys over here today. And look, the chat box is finally working. Thanks, Streamlabs. Oh my God. Hello. Yes. Oh my God. I love actually seeing chat box, and let me double check, make sure that you're showing up in every tab and not just mine. One moment. I'm going to switch over to camera with overlay. Cool. All right. That's incorrect. Let's put you here. There we are. And then I'll switch back over here. Perfect. Okay, it's working. Where'd you get that shirt? This is Luna from Hell of a Boss. You can get this on sharkrobot.com. Obviously, that's a Vivzy Pop property. I always shill Vivzy stuff, not only because I love and respect other indie creators. Luna's just a good design. Also, it's a character I really like. I got a lot of the Stewart personal waifus back here, and this one is signed by the voice actor. She was super cool about it. I got Nessa signed. I got Ino signed. Still trying to hunt down Nagatoro. But yeah. Is that Luna in bondage? Okay, story. There's a story about the bondage. This was not on purpose. So, my wife is an artist, and she's the one who makes all these dockies. And most of the dockies are not our decision to make. People will commission them, and the first person to commission a Luna specifically wanted her tied up. So we just, yeah, that's just what happened. On top of that, I should also point out that he is just this really cool programmer from England. He's completely asexual. He just really likes the aesthetic of the shibari. So he has gotten dozens from us. This mad lad who commissioned this got us through the pandemic. I'm not joking. We would not have a house if it were not for this man. Simply because we would have had to sold our house during the pandemic because I wasn't teaching and there were no conventions. Seems like a likely story. It's true! Stuart's a furry. Digital hat. Hello. I don't judge. Was it me that commissioned? No. No, it's actually, I believe it's a fan of X's, actually. That's Digital Hat Productions, by the way. He's a good bro of mine. He is taking the piss at me. He is just, he is being a guy. He's being a lad. He is being a lad right now. Hello. He already has 2 of them. And the ominous rich furry. Yeah. It seems like a likely story. Did Chatbox freeze? Is Chatbox hold on. Chatbox. Don't be like that. Actually, are we still live? Not gonna lie, that programmer from England is a Giga Chad. Yeah, actually, yeah. And I'm Santa Claus in a G-string. Well, people have been asking me to make a husbando book. I always wanted to put Santa Claus in like my settings. Like unironically, I love badass Santa Claus. ADHD moment, but yes, I definitely want Santa Claus is going to be in my actual setting book. Loading crew, my opinion about Naruto is meh, but fantastic characters. Is it really true? Is it really a true friendship? You can't take the... Yeah, exactly. Okay. It does freeze, yeah. If I didn't live with my parents, I'd commission a Muffet from Undertale. Bro! Like, we would love to do a Muffet, especially since Toby is really cool. And Toby has an open fan art policy, so long as you don't sell on mass-producing sites like Redbubble or print-on-demand services like Redbubble, Toby's good with pretty much whatever you make. So you're welcome to commission us. And as you can see, we do classy ones. Like, this is Eno. Like, there's nothing lewd about this. It's just a cool Eno, you know? The Guardians was great. Call him Kringler. Nah, he's straight up Santa. I don't care. So, I know this is off topic, and we're here to talk about Monster Girls, but unironically, in the setting that I do want to do, the one that I will actually take seriously is it will be like thousands of years after Earth has been abandoned, and Santa Claus is the last ambassador of Earth who went to this fantasy world called Zeros. And Santa Claus is one of the, like, not only did he bring elves to this planet, and they reacted strongly to the magic, but on top of that, Santa is a major religious character. So yeah. I got the Kiza one hung on my door. Dude, that Kiza one's badass. I love that Kiza. All right, it's really cool. Not badass. Which the ones that badass? There's a couple badasses we got. There's a couple badasses. Muffet in particular might be a stretch due to her being a Kickstarter reward. Maybe? Not certain. But yeah. I've developed an obsession with redo of Healer thanks to your alignment videos. Thank you. Thank you. Monk or what class is Santa? Part of me is actually thinking Druid. Santa feels like a Druid to me. Make Santa CR30. Oh, he's a demigod. Like, you can worship Santa and get spells from Santa. My favorite are the cookies because of the disparity between... We're playing Elden Ring with pick shots, listening in. I like Dresden Files version of Santa. I don't know Dresden Files version of Santa. Artificer. Ooh. I learned my lesson already with Artificer. Not doing Artificer. Yeah. How's everyone doing? It's the box freezes on occasion. Listen, we can't use Artificer. We can't use Artificer. Yeah, we can't use it. I already learned my lesson. We are... Oh, by the way, quick note. We are reworking the Artificer class. And I will bring this up. So, I'm going to just go over some things that we've done over the course of the week. First thing I want to do, though, I owe people some stream memes. I have forgotten to do that. Give me a second. Last week there was a stream meme, and I totally missed it. Give me a second to bring that up. I always feel really upset when I forget to do those. Let me see if I can find it. Stream meme. Oh, actually, did I? Hold up. Oh, maybe I didn't. No, I guess I did get them all. Okay, my bad. All right, never mind. We got the stream memes. I got them all in. We're good. We're good. Okay, so we have got, double checking, we have got about 48 people in here, and it should increase as time goes on. For a moment, I thought I heard Stuart saying that Santa is a deity of some kind, and now I can't help but think of how funny he play as a Christmas paladin. No, I did say that. I absolutely said that. Yamato, I won't be able to, has asking, I won't be able to pledge the Kickstarter this time. Will I be able to purchase the book at the store at some point? Yes. The complete Waifu Handbook will be available at the Loading Crew Craft store. Again, something I will bring up. Dresden Files Santa has him being a winter fae, low-key Odin, a person who enjoys the winter hunt. Ooh, that's really cool. Santa is a ranger, Mine Flame Blade. Nice. So, one thing I do want with Santa, this is the one thing I do want with Santa, is I do want to incorporate as much as his old, like, pagan lore, but I also, and this is going to be controversial, I do want him to be like the last Christian. I don't know why. I love that idea of a like I know that makes like that'll make a lot of people uncomfortable really quickly, but then again, I'm also doing the complete waifu handbook, so I don't necessarily care about that. I don't necessarily need this to have widespread appeal, but I like the idea of Santa being the last Christian who actually like knew, like very South Park, like he knew Jesus and he's friends with Jesus and he's like that's his best friend. And like he's still like it's a very complicated relationship and Santa won't talk about it. I like that idea. Again, when I get to the official setting, not sure if I'm going to incorporate that, but that is very funny to me. I'm pledging today for a hardcover. Odin converted. You're giving Vikings an identity crisis. Maybe a Christian who stayed behind after the rapture. Ooh. Yeah. No, again, the Santa lore is going to be deep and I'm going to do research on it, but this is just ideas I have kicking around in my head for an actual setting. The last followers of Christianity are always awesome. It's like the Lucifer Black from the Horus Heresy. I hope the book won't be limited. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we've got a lot of people in now. I suspect more people will come in. Again, this was an open invitation. I did send this to everybody in the email list. I sent it to everyone on Kickstarter, and I did alert both of my Discord servers. So this will be a discussion. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I'm going to talk about where we're at, where we're projected to be, where it's probably going to go, and what will happen if we reach certain goals. Personally, I've wanted to do a 1920s setting for a D&D Pathfinder. I love the Roaring 20s. Dude, I was a social studies teacher. I love teaching the 20s. Those are so much fun. Would you be adding in the Krampus? Maybe. Unlikely, but maybe. Not opposed. But Jesus doesn't want to admit the friendship of Santa. Maybe. Personally, again, I've only talked about this with the wife, and this was just a funny idea. Like, haha, what if I did this? But the idea was Santa loved, again, best friends with Jesus. But if you bring up God, as in the Yahweh God, he goes quiet. And, like, if you ask Stuart, what does that mean? I don't know what that means yet, but wouldn't that be cool? Like, isn't that an interesting character idea? I think that's neat. I think that's neat. Are there going to be eldritch monsters in your book? Yes, I absolutely do want to do that. How much will it cost as an add-on? Okay, cool. So, will Santa be the patron saint of prostitutes? Yes. Let's see. I've had 2 workers. Will you look at the MG... Hold on. The MG Encyclopedia. Hold up. Could it... By the MG Encyclopedia... By chance, are you referencing this book? Is this the book you're talking about when you mentioned the MG Encyclopedia? Is that the one? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, we're going to be referencing it. Or at the very... Okay, so let's... Yes. Yes. So let's, real quick, go over what's happened and what's coming up. So, here is where we're at right now. This is the Kickstarter. Now, I've left a calculator here in order for us to kind of estimate where we're going and what we're doing. I've done a lot of research on where Kickstarters are tending to go. Oh, we are 2,000 backers. Hell yeah. Cool. All right. Make it wholesome? I'll make it wholesome. I had a wiki up for weeks brainstorming stat blocks. Okay. So, let's get on target. Lads and lasses. Give me a second. Mad lads and lasses. Give me a second. So, we are at $10,000. We're going to be at 11,000 before the end of the night. That's just going to happen. I have been checking the comments. There is a wonderful individual by the name of Landon who has been showing us stats on where we should be expected to go. Now, Landon is a super backer, which means he is very familiar with Kickstarters, and he's been telling me my velocity, explaining where we should go, how long it's going to take, blah, blah, blah. According to his estimation, We have gone from $2,000 in backing a day to 3,000. That's pretty good, which means by the 48-hour mark, we should be reaching 121,000. I'll zoom in so you can see it. And if we reach 121,000, we're definitely getting the cooking goals sorted. Now, another thing I do want to point out is, according to everywhere I've looked at, you should expect a 20% boost by the end of your Kickstarter. So, for example, let's go 121, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll multiply it by 1.2. That'll get us here. Now, I know some people are upset at looking at this number. That is shy. I know. I'm going to take some sting off of that. But also, I'm still probably going to upset some people tonight. I am probably going to do something that a lot of people would advise me not to do as well. And I'm just going to be, like, transparent. So we're going to talk about a few things. Yep. So, this is a good number. I am happy with this number. I didn't in my life expect to honestly hit this number. When I was doing my marketing and I was doing my classes on how to promote this Kickstarter, I thought maybe we'll reach 100,000. Like, that to me was a good number. And so I kind of sorted out my stretch goals in a way that where 100,000 would be very easily attainable. And the 125, I was like, if I don't hit this, I'm not worried about it because I'm probably going to just come up with recipes on the fly. And plus, I do want to point out that we have currently 4 people on the designer recipe. Now, these 4 people are going to provide more recipes, and there's a good chance on top of that I'm also just going to, again, just be me. If you know Stuart at all, Stuart's a chaotic neutral piece of shit, and he just adds and does things, like, on the fly. Kitsu is very aware of my nonsense. By the way, Kitsu, I know you're in chat. Thank you very much for putting up with me. You're being great, buddy. I think it may be the Fox Girls. Thank you, Lost Paws. I need my monster waifus. Yeah, no, I did not realize. Yandere recipe, pour facor. So, yeah. So the cooking probably going to happen. In fact, I'm willing to stake my life that 125,000 is going to happen. Okay? Fantastic. Kitsu, love you. Best money I'm going to spend after the Kickstarter is hiring Kitsu. That man is work. I'm going to make that man work for me. I'm going to give him a big fat paycheck, and we're gonna make some stuff. Yes. So, okay. So here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Again, I personally. Josh Scorcher. So the question remains as to why a lawful good individual such as myself is contributing to this project. Josh Scorcher, this is the reason why you're contributing to this project. I'm paying you 10% of this. I don't know why you signed up either. I don't know why you thought you'd be getting a big paycheck, but you put your faith in at least a good spot, I think. And Josh is also at Mega Chad. Hello, Josh. So, hold up. So, I personally think we will reach this goal quite easily. I also think it's very, very likely we will break 150. And here's why. So a lot of my shout-outs this month have not necessarily panned out. I have been investing heavily in influencers and other YouTubers, and only a couple of them have really got, boosted our numbers. All of them have helped, and all of them I'm very, very grateful for, and I'm glad to have worked with them. But the biggest contributors were CamiCat and LitDev. So major thank yous to them for, again, putting up with my nonsense. But it's actually thanks to those two that we did reach this goal. We would not have reached 110,000, nor would we have reached 145 if it were not for LitDev and CamiCat. And also, I should mention, definitely need to mention, Megami33 for coming up with this amazing goddamn song. This, I fully tribute to like people like signing up for this song and this animation. God, I thank these two so much. Yep. Those air quotes say a lot. I'm not trying to shit on people. I'm being transparent. I want you to know what I expected out of the campaign and what happened. Okay? So, that's the power of music. No, this song and this animation, absolute bops. Like, this was a banging video. It was so good. And I will be giving JK and Megami, each of them, royalties for doing this. They pulled it off, like, for real. A+ song. Okay, so here's the thing. Kitsu and I'm going to go ahead and show people this. Kitsu has been hard at work filling in the 5e stretch goals. I have not formally put my stamp on anything just yet, but as you can see, Kitsu has been going buck wild, and his chaotic energy is bouncing really well off of mine. And even though we will butt heads, we do butt heads creatively because I'm an edgy boy, and Kitsu is a very good boy. Together, we've come up with some good shit, and we're gonna get this all worked out. Okay. So we've got about 57 pages, or he has done 57 pages so far. Thank you, Kitsu. Now, if we do not hit 150,000, I'm going to straight up tell people we're still probably going to make the Monster Girl book. You guys have been so enthusiastic about this book. Frankly, it kind of freaks me out because, like, again, I did not expect this response. I did not expect this level of enthusiasm. I did not think that we were going to be this successful. I thought I was making a dumb meme book, and my wife said, hey, why don't you just do a Kickstarter to get it funded? Yeah. Yep. No, absolutely. Absolutely. So, we're going to be working on the book if we don't hit 150. Kitsu wrote the other 57. Yes. Yeah, dang bards. Well, we had amazing bards promoting the Kickstarter. I mean, the bards did it. Now, yeah, that is if we don't reach it. If we do reach $150,000, this is the reason why I called the town hall meeting. I am proposing this to everybody. I am proposing, instead of waiting for me, Kitsu, and Josh to create another 200 pages worth of content, and instead of us editing it and spending basically, it's going to take to make a volume 2, that is going to take a tremendous amount of work. It's going to take a tremendous amount of time. And I personally think our time will be best spent if we release the volume 1 where it is. And volume 2 will be put into production. And here's what I'm thinking. If we reach 150, a lot of people in the comments have suggested this, and in the updates. A lot of people have suggested we run a second Kickstarter for volume 2, which means I want to get your opinion on this, which means I am inclined not to create this to send out yet. But if we reach 150,000, here's what we'll do. We will make the book. We will produce another Kickstarter, and all 2,002 people, or whomever we reach on the Kickstarter, will get a free hardcover upgrade immediately. Meaning, like, you know this $40 deal that we ran where if you did a soft cover? The way this worked is if you put down $40 and if we reach 20,000, that soft cover would go up to a hardcover. That means every 2,000 people, if you contribute to the next Kickstarter, and again, if we only reach 150,000, you get a hardcover for 40 instead of 70. That is the train of thought that I'm thinking. So it will take longer, and we will do a second Kickstarter for Volume 2. And again, I will post this in the updates. I will make this very transparent that this is what we want to do. So I'm going to look at what you guys have to say. Let me switch it back so that we can actually see chat. I want you all to be able to talk to each other. I want, again, I want this here for transparency's sake. Now, if we reach 150,000, and if you want me and Kitsu to just bust our ass, and Josh, if you want us to just bust our ass and make the Volume 2 to come out with Volume 1, we'll do it. But, and I'm gonna fulfill my promise, but again, our time would be better spent to make Volume 1 as good as possible, finish it by the end of the year, ship it out, and then do Volume 2 as another Kickstarter. Let me see what you got. I'm going to see what you guys have to say. Go ahead and type it out. I'm going to be quiet. I am just going to read chat for a bit. All right, let's see. All right. Got a new backer. It takes longer. It'd be better. I want good monster girls. Lenny Face. Lloyd, running a second book as a second Kickstarter sounds good. Alexius. All right, I cannot reward such nobility. I'm adding that. Alexius, you delightful man. Thank you. 323 Starlight. I'd be okay with that. Kitsu. Also probably get impatient and share teasers on Discord. Oh yeah, absolutely. No. We're making this Discord public. Everyone can come in. Everyone can look at what we're doing. Transparency is going to be our biggest tool. I am absolutely not. Did chat break again? I think the chat box broke. All right. It'll catch up. Yeah. Discord gonna be open. Question, if we can't get physical book, what about a PDF version? Yes, you can get a PDF version, not a problem. Burning Speed, I'm cool with that. Mine Flameblade, I think the upgrade is sweet. You had my attention, you piqued my interest, said Phoenix. I would be cool with that, and would the adventure still be in the stretch goal? We'll come back to that. Shadow, I'd be more than acceptable, that's a lot of work, and I'd wait for the product. I appreciate the transparency, I'd vote for it. Volume 2 coming after would be good, cool, I agree. Honestly, I'm cool with a second Kickstarter. I am okay with it, but it's risky. That is from Rex. Rex, could you elaborate why you think it's risky? I want to see what you have to say about that. You might want to make a second book for the anime setting. Okay, interesting. Ghost Kaiser, I think you should make Volume 1 and the best it can be, and we can wait for Volume 2. Rob, no, that would be cool, but I wouldn't want you guys to burn yourself out. Believe me, I think this is the best way for us to not burn out, is to release Volume 1 by the end of December, and then Volume 2, we just spend the next half year working on it, and then we drop another Kickstarter either by July or, I don't know, either July or September of next year. I'm okay with that. I'd be fine with a second book. Yo, Stuart, did someone make a hamburger recipe yet? No, they have not made a hamburger recipe yet. That sounds awesome. Ooh, I do want to talk about the recipe. Hold up. Some people have submitted some recipes so far, and the one that was the funniest was the Mega Milkshake. Remind me to come back to the Mega Milkshake. Doing Volume 1 and shipping before Volume 2 sounds perfect. Patience is a virtue. Gerald, let me see if I can understand this correctly. You're going to remove the Volume 2 stretch goal from the current campaign and make it its own campaign. I am not removing it, Gerald. What I want to do is, instead of removing it, we're just going to announce that Volume 2 is in production. And I guess it would be removing it, wouldn't it? I suppose that is, like, when you get down to it, that is kind of the way to say it. I don't like saying it like that, but I guess in practicality, that's what we're doing. Alternatively, Gerald, if we reach, I guess if we reach 2, I can start hiring more people to help us. That is a possibility too. So let's come back to that. This is under the assumption that we only get 150 or just barely above 150. Tell me what you think of that. Is it possible to pledge without having a credit card? I'm not certain, Lokester. I don't know. Lori, if it makes both books better, then I'm down. Kitsu, it's lagging. Give it a second. Where am I at? Devil's Air. If I were to back, okay, that's fine. Mine Flameblade. One I think I have in my mind. How would you translate 5e classes into Pathfinder 2e? Josh Scorcher is an incredibly talented and brilliant individual. I trust him completely. I trust Josh to be able to do it, And so far, he has handed me material for the Love Mage and a few other classes, and so far it's been excellent. We've actually had a group meeting about it. Kitsu and Josh, if you wouldn't mind, you can mention that real quick. Starly Brain can't figure out. Sorry, Pichu. I think you need a credit card. I can't tell you. I think a second Kickstarter would be more cool. Okay. Frozen says sounds like a good idea. Bella, second Kickstarter. What will the volume come with an adventure? Kitsu has strongly suggested that we include either a one-shot or at least some of the setting in volume 2. And here's I do want to talk about volume 2 real quick when we get a second. Yes. Okay. It looks like everyone at least in this live stream. There are 72 people in this live stream. 72 is not 2,000 people. I will be making a post on Kickstarter and doing a vote. So I will be doing an update very, 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 very soon. But I am glad that this is the positive reception we're getting. Again, too, like if we reach 200, that gives me enough money to hire people to to help us with this. So I'm down with that. Dianzu, if you make a volume 2 a new Kickstarter, could the backers who pledged for the hardcover automatically get a free PDF? Yeah. So real quick, bringing this up again, if we reach 50,000, that the plan that it is in my brain is that every single Kickstarter backer, all 2,002 current people here, and plus whoever we end up with, you get a free hardcover upgrade. Like, full stop. That's how it goes. If you pledge $40, that soft cover, hardcover, immediately. That's how it goes. Is your okay. Rex, the reason I'm saying it's risky is you're trading on trust. If for some reason you can't get it done what people expect, there'll be trouble in future projects. Fair enough. No, I understand the risk I'm taking. And there's some people who are going to call me a fool for being this transparent, including me. I think this is, maybe I should have rolled the dice on it. But I am personally thinking honesty is the best policy here. Would you like to wait? Yeah, I do think. How much for just the PDF? PDF is only going to be $25. And in fact, let me remind people, I'm going to switch over real quick. On the Kickstarter, if you pledge $25 or higher, you get a free PDF download. Every single person above $25 gets the PDF. It just comes free. You just get it. So it doesn't matter if you pledged $500 or $50. You get a copy of the PDF. And $25 will get you the song as well as the PDF. A fool for being transparent? No, that's fool's talk. Maybe. I don't know. Again, this is the first time we've had a project with this much success. So again, I'm being transparent. The Duelist, I'm not going to lie, I'm not a waifu fan, but I love the work you guys do, so you better make some room for a burger in that book. Is a mega milkshake. Frankly, the honesty has gained more trust in your intentions over anything else. Thank you. I really do think. Thank you, Shadow. We pledge a free hardcover. Yeah, no, trading. Yes, if you are one of these people, what's going to happen is on the second Kickstarter, I'm still going to do the this thing. I'm going to do this early bird sign up. So for $40, you get your hardcover. End of story. If you miss the early bird the early bird sign up for whatever reason, we are still going to honor that. Actually, let me talk about that real quick. So, real quick, let me focus. I promise I'll get back to the chat in a second. But there were a lot of VIPs who missed the early bird special. There were a lot of people who put in their dollar and they just missed it. They were at work or whatever. Here's what's going to happen. We are using BackerKit. BackerKit has this software that when we collect your shipping information, I can include a coupon code in your email. Remember, I have you on an email list. make sure that you do not have my email blocked. I will send you a special coupon code that when you put your shipping information in, what's going to happen, let's say you live in the US and your shipping is $10. That $10 gets knocked down to $5. That's $5 off. That doesn't seem like a lot, but what happens is that is the same $5 discount you would have gotten with the early bird special. Plus, that signals to us when we like ship it to you to not include a soft cover, but instead a hard cover. That's what we're doing. So even if, for example, let's say we're doing the second Kickstarter, okay? So we're going to pretend this page is the Monster Girl Kickstarter, right? Let's say you miss the, I don't know, 1,000 or so early bird backers that I have there. Let's say you miss that. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to send you a coupon code. In this Kickstarter email, there's a thing here where I can privately message every person in this Kickstarter. I can privately send you a message saying, here's your coupon code for the upgrade for the, in my mind, I'm calling it the Feral Waifu Handbook, or the Feral Waifu Encyclopedia. So here's your coupon for the Feral Handbook Encyclopedia. That way, when you do the backer kit thing, you could still put in your discount. Does this make sense? I know it's confusing. I know it's a little roundabout, but unfortunately, it's just what we have to work with when it comes to Kickstarters. I'm going to go back to chat real quick, start reading some things off. Especially if that... Okay. Will all Pathfinder classes be in the 5e? So, Pathfinder classes, specifically, I only made one. I made the waifu class for Pathfinder, and we made the waifu archetype for Pathfinder 2e. Kitsu has figured out a way to make a feat tree to make that work. So, yes. How much for... we already got that. Where are we at? The PDF is dropping of next year. The PDF, I will be sending the PDF immediately after we finish it. You'll get it as quick as you can. As soon as Kitsu and Josh and I feel that the PDF is complete, you get it. And then I will be shipping out everything else. Karnak. Karnak, hey, that's me. I'm not certain. I'm sorry. Have any retailers claimed the backing? No retailers have claimed it. That's, and I think I know why. I think I've learned my lesson here. So when it comes to the retailers, I think what's going on, and I did talk to my buddy who owns a D&D bar. He didn't want to buy the pillows. That was a mistake for me to put there. And, no one claimed that. And I fully understand why. So yeah. All right, thanks for answering. After the Kickstarter goes up, it goes in your store. Is the PDF still a thing? Yes. On Loading Crew Crafts. Actually, let me go ahead and pull it up. LoadingCrewCrafts.com. All right. So this is our website. This is our store. We have gotten so much Kickstarter money that I am going to pay to have this redesigned. I'm prepared to drop about $10,000 to make this store look good. Because at the moment... I mostly did this and it's not very good. So we're going to pay to make this look good. So it will be here. In fact, it will be in the, let me see if I can find it. YouTube? Is it in the YouTube items? Yeah, it'll probably be in the YouTube items, or we'll make a new section for TTRPGs. And it'll be here. As you can see, my DBZ inspired books, they're not DBZ books, my DBZ inspired books go there. So the digital PDFs as well as the hard copies will be sold on loadingcrewcrafts.com. Not a problem. What is the calculator for? Projection. We're debating. We're trying to figure out how close we get. Take my money. UMA. Traden, thank you. Do we have porcelain dolls in the waifu handbook? Kitsu. I swear we had something statted out like that. I'm not certain. Lenny, a what tree? Feat. F-E-A-T, as in feature. A feature tree. What about changing the title of Wild Waifus? No, I personally think a solid reference to this would be a smarter play. So I'm inclined to call Volume 2 the Feral Waifu Encyclopedia. I think that'll be a more interesting thing. Plus, because it's an encyclopedia and not a handbook, we can include more lore into it. So I think that'll be the play. I was one of the early birds who... Oh, Karnak! Yes, Karnak. If you go to the softcover and pledge to the softcover, you still get the upgrade. I'm still going to send you the discount for that. Don't worry. Just make sure that you have it, okay? Anime fan, behind the work, I want to say fully support the transparency. I think most people do. After all, there's been big Kickstarter names that weren't transparent. And then he mentions someone by name. I'm going to pass on that. How do you intend to deal with backers who would back out of this campaign because they expected Volume 2 as part of the campaign and not something spun around its own with its own costs? I'll just eat the cost, man. That's just what I'm going to have to do. I'm not going to lie. I will be making a post very soon, one, calling for a vote, and two, basically saying, hey, if we only get this much funded, this is what's going to happen. And if people back out, so be it. I never did this for the money. I mean, we set out to make money, but I don't care about making a shitload of money. I don't care about that. If they're going to back out, so what? So it's fine. I like money. It's just, I think honesty is better. Lenny, I am well aware. Oh, okay. I gave them a gander. Your DBZ content is what gave me the confidence. Thank you. I will say the success of that DBZ book is what inspired me to do this. So, oh, it looks like someone did back out. Hold on. I'm going to make sure. Okay. We actually did. I don't know if they're here in this live stream, but someone did, in fact, back out of the high tier. Okay. Well, so be it. That's fine. I wonder if I've spoken to them. Or if they're in the live stream. Hey, yeah, not personal. I want if you're here listening, send me a message. Curious. Darn. That's a bummer. It's right there. We lost the big one. Oh well. It happens. Let's see. We have a doll adjacent, create a fictional waifu. Can't wait to see what you do with the paladin warlock waifu. It's also kind of not like it wasn't mentioned. It would require a second volume. Can I be hyped and thrilled we're doing so good? Oh, absolutely. Reprint of 1 when book 2 is on Kickstarter. I got my friend into this. Apotheon. Thank you. We ball. I like money. I do. Yeah. And if you haven't seen the particular short, you can thank them for Zen code. Don't look into that. I did lower because... Oh! I did lower my backing because I can't afford the Daki because it was only like $60 and I plan on just buying the Daki. Oh, no, Kitsu, you're fine. You're fine. That just means it's... Yeah, no. Here's the thing. I know how these big insert to characters go. I have a feeling that... I have a feeling this will be filled. And again, if it isn't, so be it. I like money, but I'm not staking my life on it. It's okay. We're still going to get all the stretch goals. I'm still extreme. Even if, let's say all 3 of those people back out right this second, I'm still confident we'll hit those stretch goals. I'm just pretty sure. I'll probably pick up a Fire Emblem. That's fine. Okay. So that was, essentially, that's the big town hall meeting, is that I wanted to ask you guys, what did you think about moving Volume 2 to its own Kickstarter? Again, most of the comments have suggested that we do a second one. And I think that's smart. I think that's a good plan. But again, I did want to ask that. Shadow, you've been a pleasure to work with so far with my PC. Oh, that's right. I have seen you. That was, I think I see you. Shadow. What are you in? Who are you in Discord? I got a million people I'm talking to. That's not you. I'm sorry. I'm looking for Shadow now. I know I saw you. There you are. I think I've seen you. I think we should keep the stretch goals as a chance to earn private teasers. Yeah. I'm all for it. Yep. Okay, cool. Yep. All right, no. Sounds good then. I do believe, yep, no, I think so too. I think that is the best option. Talking about doing something Savage World. Oh, yeah. No, I thank you, Traden. Thank you. You are removing the Volume 2 stretch goal because you plan on making it anyway. I will be making an announcement very, very soon, and I will be updating that graphic very, very soon. It will take me probably the rest of the night to do so, but it will be updated before the end of the day. And again, I am going to be making a post about it. Okay? So I'm going to be doing that in just a moment. But again, this is the town hall meeting, and part 2 of it was to be talking about the NPCs. Now, one last thing I do want to cover. Kitsu and I have been discussing how the Monster Girl book will go. So for the Monster Girl book, here's what we're thinking. I already know what the mascot is going to be. The mascot is going to be a character called Stalker. And if you know anything about D&D monsters, that is probably your biggest tip. And if you know anything about anime tropes, you probably can figure out where that's going. So that's going to be the mascot character for Volume 2. Oh! Did someone just pick it back up? Hold up. We just shot back up to 11,000. What happened? Cameron! Cameron, are you in chat? What is happening? Cameron, are you in chat? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to do this, but I'm trying to talk to one of these big backers, and I'm very confused. Yeah, I'm very confused. Yep. All right. So people are picking up on it. So yeah, we're gonna have Stalker be our mascot. Okay. So for the Monster Girl book, we're gonna have a lot of very popular RPG monsters set as Monster Girls. We are going to stat them. We are also going to make them legally distinct stats because I know we can't copy it beat for beat, but they will be very similar creatures. They will just be basically anthropomorphized. They'll be very much like this. On top of that, I'm thinking as well, we will turn them all into playable races, but in the lore, they will be known as feral waifus. And the feral waifus, the way that they work is they don't have a society. They are just basically mutated monsters. But they are sapient, intelligent, and hand-holdable. Is that a classy way to say that? People are editing their pledges. I know a Cameron, but I doubt it was him. There is still a Build-A-Bear. There's still a Build-A-Bear. Build-A-Waifu available. The Phase Panthers are nothing like Displacer Beasts. Yes, exactly. Are they going to be statted for all systems? Absolutely. We're going to put them for all 3 systems. Put enough magic into something, it becomes a waifu. Yep. So, okay. I think that works. That will be a considerable part of the book. And then the other part of the book, Kitsu has suggested we add in lore. I do think that's a good idea. I think I'm still into that idea. And yeah, we'll go from there. Sentient? Sapient? Sentient. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. Does anyone have any other questions about what we'll do? Again, I will be updating the Kickstarter tonight. And if you see a drop, well, that's how it has to go. But, yep. I'm okay with monsters using as playable races. Down for that. Y'all wanted the sand... Yes, we're doing... Yeah, we're doing... Bro, I want to talk about sand elves so freaking bad. It's crazy. How many girls? Minimum, I want... Okay, this is not a promise. But minimum... 50? I'm hoping? Again, I want to do all the popular characters that are not already anthropomorphized. But I also want to keep the page count down. And the problem is, the one thing I am going to show off is that when it comes to this, it took 4 pages for each character. So think of it this way. 50 monster girls, 4 pages each, 200 pages. I would like to keep them to approximately, 200 to 250. Oh, someone messaged me on... Okay, not important. Cool. Any ideas for Volume 2 stretch goals? I do know we want to do Waifu DLC. Potentially some playable guides a la Bestiary. Yep. How much shipping will be in the EU? Oh, God, shipping. Okay. Shipping is a bitch. Okay. Actually, I should talk about this. Okay. So if you do not know, shipping is awful right now, especially for small businesses. We actually shut down international shippings on loadingcrewcrafts.com. And the reason we shut that down is because every country is now doing massive import taxes on anything outside of the country. So if I am shipping to anywhere in Canada, minimum $15, I'm also probably going to have to eat some taxes. UK, 30. And the 30 isn't necessarily just to ship it to the UK, it's also to pay the taxes on top of it. EU, same thing. The rest of the world, $50. It sucks. I am genuinely very upset on how much it's going to cost just to ship, because that's not fair to people outside the US. Yeah. 50 races or 50 stat blocks? Kitsu, we'll talk about it later, but again, that was my thought. That is not the final amount, nor is that a promise. I need the Beast Babe burger put in. Well, let's check. Oh! Hold up. 1 second. Sorry, I'm checking something. I want to make sure that I'm not, Oh, Cameron. Okay, I think... Okay, I think Cameron just picked up the food one, because we sold out of that. Again, Cameron, if you're in here, message me, bro. I want to talk to you. I want to make sure everything's okay. All right? Again, I like money, but I don't want you to lose your house over this, you know? But yeah, all of the recipes have just been claimed. I don't know who claimed it, so it's not telling me. Thank you very much, Behold Man. So excited for this. Already backed on Kickstarter. Thank you, Behold Man. Appreciate it. Let's see. Are we going to get Monster Lord equivalent? Monster Girls style quest? Slowly bring AAA game slurps. Okay. So where are we at? We currently, in terms of big rewards that we have left, we still have the build a waifu. We have 1 build a waifu left. So that's interesting. So Volume 2 will be its own Kickstarter campaign, and stretch goals for it will still be included in the setting and adventure. I believe so. Yes. I believe that's what's going to happen. For the Monster Girls, we want a lot of them, but I don't know, again, because this book is going to be a triple mechanic thing. So that's going to be tricky to put in. I'm going to do my best to work with it, and I want as many Monster Girls as possible. I also want them to be playable. And I also want to put in lore. I want to put in everything. So yes, you know what? I think that'll probably be, if not guaranteed, almost guaranteed. Yes, Gerald, that is probably what's going to happen. Volume 2 will be its own Kickstarter campaign, and the setting and adventure probably, yeah. just didn't answer Moi Maker. Are we going to get a Monster Lord equivalent? I don't know. I don't know yet. But I do want, again, I want that book to be as good as possible. Yeah, we're looking great. So an estimate for the last 48 hours, my experience says 15 to 25%. Well, we're at 11,000 and we lost one of our biggest backers, but one of our biggest rewards just opened up. So, okay, we'll see. The Discord link seems to have expired. I will replace that at the end of the stream. Can you give me a moment for that? But I will do that. Okay, that's awesome. All right. So here is the plan. Again, going over it. The Monster Girl Volume 2 will, unfortunately, yeah, it will have to be removed. But everyone who contributed to this Kickstarter gets a free hardcover upgrade. We're doing this because we want it to be the best book we can do. And we want to release this book, or we want to get it finished and printed before the end of the year. Basically before taxes screw us. That's unfortunately what's going to have to happen. The fact of, just very impressive. Thank you. Hi, Stuart. How are you? I'm not a pledge, but I wish I was, but no money. Thank you. I appreciate that. Is there a way to make a... Yeah, I know. Changed into teaser? Akitsu, let's talk about that later. But yeah, no, that's... I'm going to get it. I'm going to get everything out by the end of the night. And again, if I lose money, that's on me. That's on me. I'm still going to pay my boys. I'm still going to pay everybody. And we ran a hell of a campaign, guys. So... Is that hardcover upgrade for people who bought soft covers? Yes, that is how that works. 5th edition plus Pathfinder 1st and 2nd edition. Personally, I'd like to see somebody... what is Big Eyes? I think that meant to be BESM, as in Big Eyes, Small Mouth. No disrespect towards them, but I'm not particularly interested in that setting. I don't really like dot system rules. I don't know what it is. I just like numbers. What about those that already got a hardcover? I think there's some confusion, Ferris. Oh, no, Ferris. No. I mean for the next one. For the next one. For the waifu, or for the feral waifu book. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, Ferris, the reason Ferris was confused is he thought I meant for this campaign. So if you ordered a hardcover for this campaign, that still applies. I'm talking specifically the stretch goal. Okay? That's what's happening. And again, I will message everyone personally. I'll let them know what the plan is. Okay. Now, moving on. Y'all want to look at some waifus? Yeah, all people who back Volume 1 of this book get a free hardcover upgrade in Volume 2. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, that's what's good. Yeah, there we go. So, let's talk about the waifus in this particular book. So, we are in Chapter 5 this week of the Complete Waifu Handbook. And I have made 12 NPCs, and all of them have classes from the book, or at least most of them do. Or some of them have recycled assets. I'm going to be honest there. I'm tempted to put... Yes. All right. So this chapter is called the Waifu Catalog because I think that name is hilarious. Also, it is a very, very good reference to both this book and the Monster Manual. So, essentially, these characters are both the mascot characters and characters that will exist in the future world of Zero's setting. I have created 12. There's Akiko, Bright Luster, Daphne, Faith, Hana, Lysander, Okutsuna, Prince Setsumaru, Kriega, Princess Kriega, Wrath and Watashi and Water Sword. They are like these classes, and we're going to go over and talk about them. Now, one thing I want to bring up. I've got this note right here. Notes from Stuart. Stuart is an old school gamer, which means I write problematic characters on purpose. They are flawed. They have very uncomfortable circumstances surrounding them. There is some, I think Twitter calls them power imbalances. There are things that make modern audiences very uncomfortable. And I firmly believe that that is how most characters should be written. So, some examples. Slavery, sexism, racism, trauma, inappropriate crushes, child death, cigarettes and alcohol, insufferable puns. All of these things are very problematic and awful, but they exist within this book. If you don't like that for your setting, feel free to remove it. It says right there. Also, I cracked these NPCs. These guys are fucking strong. They're strong. Flawed, I can fix her. Did you ever consider adding a system for wife that's gender fluid that represents blah, 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 that represents outward in their body structure based on a specific race? Are you talking about like changelings or something? I'm not certain what that is asking. I'm afraid I don't understand the question. Characters need flaws. Yep. Cruelties did exist in male. Yep. Insufferable puns. Yes. All these things are in my character designs. So, the first one... I am realizing you can't see her name. This is Akiko. Now, this is a character whose artwork I will be replacing. That is because this character artwork was made as a Patreon for my Pokemon D&D campaign. So, this character is essentially the joke character of the book. So she works for the God of Fortune, and if we did get enough money to get an adventure published, what would happen is that this character would stalk the party. Not maliciously, but because the God of Misfortune sent her to do so. And with that, if someone noticed her stalking them, she would gain a crush on them. Because the joke is, Senpai noticed her. In fact... I'm going to go over here real quick and label. I'm going to show you how I wrote these out. So the first thing I want people to know. I think they're asking if you considered adding a feature or race of a waifu that can shapeshift and to be in your ideal partner. I think I have. Oh, that's actually. No, I do. The Zenko, which is what Akiko is, they can pick up a feat that lets them basically just morph their body into whatever they want. And I think that's fulfilling your requirements. I think that's what we got. Does that answer your question? Let me know. So the first thing, adventuring party. The PC's party. Akiko is a Zenko assigned by the God of Fortune to assist the PCs on their quest. I will also point out that if Akiko joins your party, she is the key to unlocking the mythic path in the book. I am personally a big fan of missable side quests. That is some old school gaming, but if you ever played a Final Fantasy game, sometimes you can miss like a very powerful item by missing a quest line early. And basically, if you miss Akiko, part of me is thinking that does like either miss you for the mythic path or something. I don't know. I know I'm going to get pushback on that one specifically from Kitsu, but in my mind, she was the key to getting the mythic path. Yep. Romance, possible. She is a Zenko assigned to human. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Zenko assigned to humans tend to fall in love with them, meaning, she was assigned by the God of Fortune. Akiko swears that won't happen to her, though. She's a tsundere. Preference. Akiko isn't interested in anyone. Why would you even ask that? However, if she had to pick a type, it'd probably be a person who notices her. Her favorite food is tsundere pizza. Her preferred gifts is, she definitely doesn't want offerings made to her at travel shrines or God of Fortune shrines or the form of food, gold, or artwork made to resemble foxes. She definitely doesn't want that. Hated insults, making fun of her ears, tails, bust size, clothing, choice in fashion, or foxes is the fastest way to get on her bad side. Her personality type is tsundere girlfriend. Kiko is a hopeless romantic, at least by anime standards, and has not had much experience in finding romantic interest. She is definitely too preoccupied with her fox girl duties to fall in love with the first character with a higher level to get a perception check on high enough to see her. Stuart, your Wrath of the Righteous fanboyism. I'm actually hella about that energy. Yeah, so if you notice her, and if you have a higher level than her, which is very likely, she falls in love with you. That's the joke. Yeah, she basically falls in love at your first sight, not her first sight. I even write right here, notes from Stuart. Obviously, this is something of a joke character, so I do want to point that out. She is level 2. She is a cross-blooded sorcerer, which means she has both Fae and Celestial bloodlines, and that does give her certain powers. That does give her certain abilities. She is very weak at the beginning, but you can level her up with you. Bloodline, Celestial, Fae. Mega Milkshake. Oh, I probably should talk about the Mega Milkshake, shouldn't I? Okay, so the Mega Milkshake. It was funny. This guy, the guy who messaged me about the Mega Milkshakes, I'm going to read you the first thing he sent to me. Hold up. Let me find this, like, hilarious bastard. Where are you? Is this you? Hold on. I swear. Is this you? Where are you? Hold up. There he is. All right. No, that's not you. Where the hell is he? Okay. This is the first thing he sent to me. Hi there. I have a pitch in mind for the recipe, but it absolutely needs approval. I have a backup if you say no, and I totally get it. But I wanted to create a simple, easy to make recipe with a mild bonus. Something level 4. He just said Mega Milkshake. And I said, you had me at Mega Milkshakes. $5 from Anime Fan. Insufferable puns like calming presence. I will never let that go ever, Stuart. So the way Mega Milkshakes work, it is I think a 4th level item. It provides a very mild and small bonus, but depending on what you add into it, it also either increases your saving throw or your attack or your to hit or something. So even armor, I think is what he suggested. Basically, it's a low level dire ramen. That's the idea. Huh? Ian, if you're in chat, thank you. A man named Ian just upgraded to the Build a Waifu tier. That's insane. Let's go. Wow. Wow. When this Kickstarter launched, projections didn't even say we'd make this by the 48-hour mark. Thank you. Ian! Holy shit! And there you are! Hi! Welcome! Thank you! Oh my god! Thank you! There he is! There's our boy! Everyone give him a big thank you! Thank you, bro! Holy shit! Yo, Ian, go ahead and message me in Discord. If, can you get to the Discord? You know what? I am going to take a second. I'm going to update the, invite people. All right, edit invite. It will never expire. Oh, actually, it'll expire in 7 days. No, I'm still gonna, yeah, and no limit. Copying. Hold up. One moment. I'm sorry to do this. I know. Hold up. How do I update my... Stop it. Edit. Here we go. Beta test Discord. Updating right now. 1 second. Okay, cool. Ian, and to everyone else, if you refresh the page, that will let you get into the Discord if you're not already in it. Please do that now. Thank you. Holy shit. That's insane. Thank you, Ian. And thank you, Gerald. Man, yeah. Holy shit. We're at 114 already. I didn't expect... We'll do it live. Yeah, fuck it. Right? Oh my god. All right, so let's get back to the waifus. Again, Ian, is that you? There you are. Hi, I'm Ian. Hi, Ian. Wave. Howdy, buddy. Okay, cool. Talking about waifus. Back to this. Back to this. Otherwise, I will never get this done. Okay. So I'm actually going to come back to this because I purposely gave Akiko really broken camping activities. Last week in Chapter 4, I talked about camp activities, such as cooking or camouflaging a campsite. These abilities right here are purposely broken, and I want to come back to them to show you the baseline of power levels for certain camp activities, okay? We're going to do that. So, and then immediately we jump to, essentially, the final boss. Now, the next character is Bright Luster. She is a nymph, and she is a Circle of the Consortium nymph, specifically a druid. And this is kind of the final boss of the setting, sorta. If you recognize this artwork, yep, that's on purpose. This is a recycled asset from my Pokemon D&D campaign. And this is, yeah, this is a Celebi. This is a humanoid Celebi that was in my Pokemon D&D campaign. I recycled a lot of her ideas and put her into the waifu book. So in this setting, she's called, her public name is Bright Luster. In the Pokemon setting, she's called Sarah. Yeah, that's Celebi. So, adventuring party, independent. Bright Luster has time traveled to the past to eliminate the adventurer that destroyed her future. So, in the lore that I've kind of set up in the book... Oh, beautiful. Ian, do you mind if I share this? What a pretty waifu. And she's a redhead. She's so cute. Can I show her, Ian? Do you mind? Yeah, let me know if I can share that. He's typing. All right. Yes. Fair enough. So anyway, yeah. So in this setting, the way I've kind of got it set up is there is this character Daphne. Now in this setting, one of the races in the book is the Divine Dragon. These are legitimately, like, I want them to be as powerful as possible, a very godlike race. They'll have, like, racial abilities, that sort of thing. Oh, cool. I can show her off. Perfect. I'm going to show her off in just a second. So Daphne is the last Divine Dragon, and just to show you her stats, this is her Pathfinder 2nd edition, or 1st edition stat block. She is a 20th level character with 10 mythic paths. Now, in Bright Luster's timeline, this character was killed, and it triggered the end of the world. And Bright Luster has come to the past to kill the people that did that. This is a very recycled theme that I took from my Pokemon game. Would that be the one on this channel? Yes. So, that is what she's doing. The last Divine Dragon. Yeah, of course. So, romance, possible. Bright Luster was the leader of the Circle of the Consortium. And if you just saw the video that was posted today, the Circle of the Consortium are basically polyamorous druids. Oh no! Okay, and I'm sorry, I gotta show this girl off immediately. She's so cute. Okay, hold up. Sorry, chat. My ADHD has gotten the better of me. I should probably up my meds. Oh, oops. This is the waifu he wants to add. She is an elf arcane archer that he played in a campaign a while ago. Oh. She also has a dryad form. This is her chibi artwork. Oh no. This is some other artwork of her. You sent me two... Oh, okay, hood and without hood. Oh! Oh, sick! Alright, thank you, Jojo. I'm in the middle of a stream. Please leave the room. Oh, is that what you're doing?
We have a home security system.
I'm aware. Here's the dryad form. Oh, she looks great. She's so cool. Can I... Hold up. Okay, I can show that, but, like, not... Probably should not have shown that one, but that one's good. We can't use Archer by name? Really? Oh, that's right. SRD. Yep. This is excellent. I cannot wait to share her with the waifu. And yeah, she's going on a docky. I'm guessing you want her elf archer on one side, and on the other side you want this. Or her dryad form. Is that what I'm thinking? I'm thinking on one side you want the elf form, and the other side is going to be her dryad form. Is that what we're going for? Yep. So, I think, anyway, back to Bright Luster. Back to Bright Luster. Yes. All right, perfect. We'll make that work. Gonna make that work, Ian. Cheers, you fucking mad lad. Okay, so, romance with Bright Luster, the final boss of the game, is possible. Bright Luster was the leader of the Circle of the Consortium. She's fairly open-minded, but at the moment she is concerned with her vengeance and mission. If and when we release the adventure, it is possible to romance her. It will take several interactions, and we will have, like, a romance tree on, like, what would need to do to convince her. Again, you know, if it's your campaign, you could decide differently. But I think it's very, very cool when you can romance the final boss. And in fact, in Pathfinder Kingmaker, the video game, you literally could do that. Yeah. Back to hugging Bright Luster. Oh, yeah, she's... we did get new artwork. Hold on, let me check real quick. I think I have new artwork of her. Let me check I got her, yeah. Just a sketch right now. But here is... Not that. Here's the sketch of Bright Luster. And she will have a non-burnt form, specifically so that we can show off dryads. But that's the sketch so far. Looks great. But we did want to avoid looking too much like Celebi again. So we gave her more, like, dryad features. I will also need to remove those wings, because those wings are not part of the dryad subrace. He says it like we won't futz around. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very similar to Owlcat Kingmaker. Although I don't think in Owlcat Kingmaker there was time travel involved. Does she have a Zuko scar? Right. So, in the Pokemon game, she was burnt and poisoned by a gym leader. And he burnt down her tree and hit her with poison attacks. Remember, this was a Celebi. In this game, same thing. She was heavily scarred and burnt, and then she traveled to the past. I even still have the poison vein down there. Again, in her new artwork, she's just going to have a Zuko scar. Could have the king wings as a cape or a skirt. Easy. We can make it work. Yeah, so you can romance her, but she's more concerned with vengeance at the moment. Her preference. Bright Luster prefers those that respect animals, nature, and that can make her laugh. Weirdly enough, the way I played Sarah in the Pokemon campaign is she's kind of a jokester in the sense that she likes bad puns. I don't know why that happened, because I made her a very angry baby in the campaign, but she just likes bad jokes, and that just kind of happened. She is more than likely to prefer a druid or a ranger. However, if one of her last consorts, meaning one of the people of the circle, was a powerful wizard and one of the fellow leaders of the consortium. So Bright Luster would be hunting the Divine Dragon Slayer that I talked about in the first live stream. Yes. We could just leave the wings and call her a pixie. I do want her to be a dryad or... Yeah. I don't know if this would be a thing for Volume 2, but do you plan on having new subclasses? Yes! Yeah. Oh, like Waifu Magus or Waifu Gunslinger. How would a Waifu Gunslinger work? Like, pistol hip? You know, like, get your legs, and you got a pistol in there? Is that how a Waifu Gunslinger works? Did you mean to call her Bright Lust? No. No. Tell dad jokes to the Angry Onion. Yeah, that's fine. So, oh, finger guns. Pew pew. That's funny. Where am I at? Fuck. Yeah, her preferences. Bayonetta, that's how. Oh! Ooh, feet guns. Yes! See, Kitsu, this is why we're paying you the big bucks. Shot through the heart. Okay, favorite meal? Mint Magic Cocoa. That is something we talked about last week. Preferred gifts, genuine acts of hope. I don't know why, I just really like this idea. For example, a poor family packing her lunch or convincing a corrupt politician to change his ways, you know, specifically for like her benefits, or donating time to a charity, or things that she cares about. So let's say you're talking to a politician and he's like, I'm going to, you know, chop down the forest, and you tell the politician, no, don't do that. Okay, I won't. Bright Luster would prefer that. You know what I mean? You give waifus a bad name. Oh, right. Again, ADHD moment. One thing I want to point out about the Mega Milk, I know, I'm jumping all around. The Mega Milk graphic. So, the Mega Milk artwork. I know how exactly it's going to look. So, you have... I need to tell you a story, first of all. This is a little history lesson. Have you ever really considered where wine glasses come from? I'm going to actually interrupt this. I know, ADHD moment, I'm sorry. But do you know where wine glasses come from? It's not really a thing in most culture. Like in Asian cultures, they have these little like shot glasses and, you know, the sake glasses. Like the wine glass is a very, very weird invention. There is a style of wine glass that comes from France, and it is a single thing, and instead of a short brimmed thing, there is a wide brimmed thing. And supposedly, the wide brimmed wine glass, according to legend, is based off of the boob of a French king's wife. A nobleman styled it specifically for her, or like as a tribute to her, for the king. That is what the legend states it came from. So the Mega Milkshake will have the stem and then a very wide brim. And on the front of the milkshake like container, it'll just say Mega. and then a bunch of ice cream. And that's what we're going to do with the Mega Milkshake. Coming from France, it makes sense, yeah. That's according to legend. I don't know how true it is, but I think that's what we're a big fan. Yeah, exactly. Booba tangent, let's go. All right, back to Bright Luster. Yeah. So she likes druids and rangers, but you know, she's open-minded as long as you know, help her cause or help like the environment or make the world a better place. That's what I want from one of my vassals. I was legit of just making the t-shirt into a glass for a Sunday. I want the boob malt. It's funny when he sent me the flavor text for the Mega Milkshake, and I quote, hold up, I need to find what he said. He said, and I quote, "The recipe is one ingredient, milk from any mammal. It requires time to make, hand mixing." I just can't. I just love. Oh my God. Anyway, where am I at? Anyway, what's her opinion if someone killed a nature destroying politician? Based. That's what she would tell you. She'd tell you based. Good job. Her hated insults are insulting her scars, commenting on her smell, or calling her a coward. Bright Luster is immensely scarred from her alternate future and hates being reminded about it. Her personality type. So one thing I wanted to point out is I put this thing here called personality trope because I want there to be a very short explanation as to how characters behave. And again, I tell me if you like this. I personally think this is very useful, but her personality trope is a quiet, shell-shocked observer. Bright Luster is a woman of few words. Her single obsession is finding out who doomed the future. She's not impolite to strangers, but she is single-minded in destroying her targets. Why her smell? She's burnt. She's a dryad that's burnt. And she smells like burnt onions. Yeah, she smells like burnt onions. So, if we go to her unique camping activities, Onion Grove. In her future, Bright Luster grew onions in her special druid grove. If Bright Luster assists someone with prepare a campsite activity, treat the result as one step better. If the result is a critical success, she grows a small patch of magic onions, which generates 1d4 special ingredients. Remember, you need special ingredients to make the special food. This activity can only be learned or taught to a dryad, to a nymph or a druid. I like the extra freedom. So she smells good. You ever smelled burnt onions? Not sauteed onions, I would agree. But burnt onions? Not a pleasant smell. Her other unique camp activity is punny time. While working around the camp, Bright Luster starts a pun sharing contest. Everyone who wants to participate rolls a flat d20. The person who rolls the highest gains the following: advantage on their activity roll, a +2 morale bonus on their activity roll, or a +1 circumstance bonus to their activity roll. Onion milkshake, stop. No. Gonna finger wag at you. Onion milkshake. She likes mint magic cocoa. So this character, if she joins your camp, can do this. Do not milk the dryad. Do not milk the dryad. A Malier is an ash druid. I will specify later because we are redoing the nymphs a little bit. We are doing 5 nymph subtypes. I think it might even be 4. But the nymph subtypes will be Flora, Aqua, Terra, possibly Shadow, and what I'm calling Sora. Sora are like air nymphs, like sylphs. Traumatized, but also into jokes. Interesting contrast. Thank you. Thank you, Aphotep. Am I saying that right? Aphotep? Thank you. Yeah, no, I have a lot of contradicting characters. Let's see if we can get to some others. Do not cook the dryad. No. We're adding goths. Okay, we're adding the goth girlfriends. Cool. Sora, is this a Kingdom Hearts reference? It is. It absolutely is. It absolutely is a Kingdom Hearts reference because Sora is the Japanese word for sky. It totally fits. Plus, it matches Aqua and Terra in just the funniest, most annoying way. Yep. I'm going to come back to... we could talk about Daphne. Let's see. Daphne is a character that I had a lot of fun writing, but yeah. So Daphne she is a potential final boss if massive spoilers, by the way. She is a potential final boss if things go really wrong in your campaign. I gave her 20 levels of cleric, and on top of that, I also gave her 10 mythic ranks. So she is cracked. I'm not joking when I say it took me an entire day to stat out Daphne for Pathfinder 1st Edition. She was hard to stat. She is the big sad mom. Hey Chandler, how you doing? So, adventuring party, independent. Daphne's friends and family are long dead and gone. She is ancient. She is very old. She wanders the world performing random acts of kindness for the common folk. Romance. Possible. Who does not want to romance the immortal dragon mommy? Everyone on the planet wants to romance this girl. Don't fight me on this. I know this is true. I know my demographics too. She will Who's behind the mask? All right. So, romance. Possible. Daphne was married once upon a time. She was wed to a noble lord who she dearly loved thousands of years ago. However, she would feel overwhelming guilt remarrying despite the fact that he would want what's best for her. So, in what I've written for Divine Dragons is they are still technically immortal, but the way I balance them out is every time they go to sleep, they're basically like restarting their lives. They kind of hibernate and then wake up again. Daphne has not hibernated for like 1,000 years minimum. The only way... You had me at dragon. Yep. She's like the dragon will. I have not seen Restaurant from Another World. Ooh, as a replacement stretch goal? What if both Daphne and Bright Luster both become endgame villains? You have a fucked ass party, my friend. I don't know what you did to piss off both of them, but good luck. Good fucking luck. Like, you better have a cracked party. Yeah, that's why she looks sleepy too. Her preference, Daphne loves paladin types, any lawful good or noble individuals that are truly selfish and servants of the less fortunate, reminder of her husband and the company she used to keep. Favorite meal, ASMR hair pasta. I don't know why, I just think that's very cute, but also, part of me thinks, we're going to talk about this later, keep in mind, ASMR hair pasta. Keep that in mind. But personally, this is what I'm thinking for her. But anyway, her gift preferences are thoughtful gifts, items discovered from her past, singing her favorite song for her unprompted, or simply something as simple as repairing her clothes. Her dress, very on purpose. I'll talk about that in a minute. And it's one of the reasons I also dislike 5e is that I couldn't fit all these really cute details that I can fit in Pathfinder. I'll talk about it in a second. Hated insults. Insulting good gods, insulting the nobility of dragons, or humanity as a whole. Daphne has seen the best that mortals and immortals have to offer and doesn't tolerate their slander. One of the things I dislike in fantasy settings is when immortals just kind of shit on people. No, Daphne's a good girl. She likes humans, she likes mortals, and she likes other good gods. Yep. Here's the thing. ASMR are still left over from other Pathfinder things. I think we could still use it. Because a lot of other settings still use it. I'm pretty sure we can. Personality trope. Exhausted, lonely, immortal. Daphne is kind and patient. She has lived for a long, long time and has seen all of her friends pass on to the afterlife. She has not taken the long hibernation that divine dragons need in order to stay mentally healthy. Yeah, no, I see the mistake there. I see the mistake. I'll have to cover that. So in 5e, I did make her a Cupid cleric, and do you know what sucks? Is I'm gonna have to completely redo her stat block for Pathfinder because we reached that stretch goal where we put the Cupid domain in. So if this character dies, the world is fire and brimstone? Kinda. Yeah, you better be a 30 character if you're fighting both. So in 5e, this is her stat block while she's human. If, however, whenever Daphne falls to 0 hit points, she reverts to her dragon form at full HP, as seen on the next page. She can also transform into this dragon form by expending 1 use of mythic power. When we come out with the Mythic 5e book, we will explain how mythic paths work for 5e. Yep. This is her stats for her dragon form. She's just really, really strong. And here's one of the reasons why 5e frustrates me. Here is her Pathfinder 1st edition stat block. What is your opinion on a good male hero with an evil girlfriend wife? Considering I have an evil wife, don't tell her I said that. Actually, she would absolutely pop off at that. Considering I have an evil wife, I think it's adorable. I think it's really funny. What is her view on insulting those who deserve it? Like knife ears and nobles. If they deserve it, sure. But if you insult humanity, as in like all humans are bad, she takes offense to that. Yep. She has mythic actions in 5e, yep. You could look up it. No, see, I do know that mythic creatures have a different thing, but again, because she is a potential like party member, I want her to have same stats as the players. Part of the reason we made these NPC stat blocks is to show what the classes are capable of. No, I'm aware that mythic actions exist, but they don't behave at all like mythic actions in the other games. So I'm aware of that, and I want it to match what players can do. I know that's not in the 5e, like, I don't know, cooking design philosophy, but I don't care. That's what I want to do. We're beta testing them now. Thank you, Sabian. Much appreciated. I am so happy you took that, like, yeah. Neutral good Stuart, chaotic neutral wife. Stuart's actually probably chaotic neutral, maybe chaotic good. I tell people I'm chaotic neutral. I'm probably chaotic good. Alex, however, true neutral. She gives no fucks. Alex does not care about anything. What are her thoughts on simps? Depends. My definition of simp may be different from yours. Yep. Anyway, Daphne. So Daphne in Pathfinder 1st edition, this is a cracked character. Again, I spent all day on this. This is a very, very strong character. And one of the things that I like is that I kind of had to show my work. She has 10 levels in Cleric, 10 levels in Waifu, and 10 ranks in Apotheon. Again, I'm going to have to redo this whole fucking thing because we unlocked the mythic path for waifus, so I had to redo all of this. But We here? Okay. Hold up. Okay. Sorry. It's telling me that chat disconnected and I freaked out. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. So one of the things that I like about Pathfinder is I gave her the spell. What spells did I give her? I gave her the spells Sacred Bond, which does, like, it gives you and a friend, like, a significant increase to, I think, saving throws. And you need gold bands in order to activate it. So she is carrying 24 golden bracelets worth 100 gold pieces, all of them from previous allies for Sacred Bond. And I like that that's a detail I can put in a Pathfinder character sheet. Can't really put that in a 5e stat block. Let's see. I am playing. Okay. Yep. So, creation of the gods. So this is just to explain that her her CR is higher. Daphne is an ancient and immortal dragon created as a guardian of the world. As such, her ability scores were generated using 25 points rather than the 15 standard point buy. Also, she gains a +3 intelligence bonus and charisma for having lived to a vulnerable age, and she does not suffer the strength, dex, or con parodies or penalties. On top of that, she also has the divine contingency. She has a dragon bow. Her dragon bow is fucking cracked. It's doing 1d10 plus 23, and she attacks, I think, 5 times. She can also summon emblems. She's crazy. Like, it's really good. This is also her dragon stat block. It took forever. And then here comes Josh Scorcher, who just drops this. And that's her stats for Pathfinder 2e. Does your book have soulmates in it? Yes. I will get to them in a minute. Her camp activities. Emblem Assistant. Daphne summons an emblem using her mythic power. This is a mythic divine dragon ability. The emblem will be someone from her past that will have knowledge and the capacity to be able to perform any camp activity. If Daphne performs this activity, she can perform any camp activity that the party knows with a skill check of her choice. This camp activity cannot be taught to another creature without mythic tiers or the mythic trait, or a similar demigod-like creature at the discretion of the DM. Yeah, that's all you need for Pathfinder 2. At least until the mythic stuff comes out, yeah. Well, Josh has got his work cut out for him. Yep. Her unique camp activity, now I've mentioned this before with the Warlock subclass, is she is able to grant golden apples. Daphne, with all of her mythical and ancient powers, is practically a demigod. As such, her powers can grant golden apples as if she were a god from the Warlock subclass of the affair presented in this book. If the campsite was founded with a success, and the camouflage was a success, and if the special meal was prepared for Daphne, she will grant the party a golden apple, which if eaten will provide all that. This activity can only be performed once per week and not can be taught to another creature. I will actually change that. Without mythic tiers, the mythic trait, or another demigod-like creature at the discretion of the GM. I think I will that will have to be changed because we decided that golden apples should be a once per day thing, and we're going to make that work. So that's fine. I will need to figure out a way to make golden apples happen in Pathfinder 1e. We can have Daphne as a patron? Kinda, yeah. This is Faith. So I'm going to kind of speed through this one. So Faith is attached to my... Faith is attached to this character down here. And I'm going to go ahead and explain all of their backstories at once. She is attached to Wrath. Again, I'm going to redesign Faith, Wrath, and Watashi. In fact, I do have the new version of Watashi, and I showed it a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to show it now, again, for time's sake. But these guys are what's called the Shadow Cats. The Shadow Cats, in my mind, if you asked me who's the main character of this campaign, it's the Shadow Cats. So, Faith and Wrath are twins. They were born on the same day, they're brother and sister, And when Faith and Wrath were 10 years old, on their birthday, Wrath went out to go get them like a treat, like a dessert, like a birthday cake. And unfortunately, he was killed in some gang violence. Now, in my mind, he was killed protecting Hana Buna. We'll come back to that. In my mind, he was killed protecting Hana Buna. Excuse me. So Faith, left alone at 10 years old with a dead brother, didn't know what to do. So Watashi comes along, and Watashi at this time is 8 years old. However, because Nekomata like mature at like, I think 6 or 8 years old. I don't remember how old I made him when they, excuse me, when they grow up. Watashi showed up. She is actually younger than Faith, but because she matured earlier, in my mind, she still calls herself Big Sister Watashi. And again, we're renaming this character. But she basically took Faith in, and together they formed a small little gang. And they started basically like making a home for like thief orphans, you know, that kind of stuff. It's very thief with a heart of gold sort of thing. But together they built like an orphanage and taught the kids how to steal and like bring it back to the cave and or like to the hideout and everything. That sort of thing. When Faith turned 20 years old, meaning on the 10th anniversary of her brother's death, Watashi brought Wrath's shawl, meaning his scarf thing here. I know I'm hopping all around. So Watashi brought her this. She found this and presented it to Faith. And through Watashi's like natural necromancy, she kind of accidentally brought him back as a Yurei. So mentally, Wrath is still 10 years old. Watashi is 18. Faith is 20. And they call themselves the Shadow Cats. So, again, depending on who you ask, this is a really weird backstory, but I really like it. And the campaign, one of the reasons you're going to be adventuring in this campaign is that there is a dragon plaguing the land. This dragon is destroying villages. And the king, or whoever is in charge, put out a missive to all adventurers and said, if you can kill this dragon and save the villages, you get a wish spell. So Watashi, Wrath, and Faith are traveling around, and their quest is to kill this evil dragon and get that wish, because they want to bring Wrath back to life, like back to life properly. Yeah. Whew. That's really messy, but it's basically, in my mind, these are the three main characters of the story. But yeah. Yeah, no, it's huge. Let's see. Why didn't you make them closer together? ABC order. Daphne, Bright Luster, Akiko. I put them in alphabetical order. And yeah, that's annoying. I know this. But it is, yeah. Yeah, that's some lore, yeah. Does the chief have access to a G? So it's going to be more like a king, less than a chief. One second. That face you make when you accidentally bring your best friend's dead brother. So yeah, that's kind of the story. So in my mind, the Shadow Cats are kind of the main characters of the story in the sense that they have the most personal reasons to go questing. They also, they're also the most tragic. But yeah, just rewrite the alphabet. But yeah, that's why they're adventuring to kill the dragon. Your adventuring party will also be hired to go kill this dragon. It's not messy at all. I enjoy such backstories as the one regarding the Shadow Cats. Thank you. I saw what you meant. I knew what you meant. You have my sword and my axe and your brother. That's really funny. So yeah, so with Faith, Faith travels with the Shadow Cats. She travels with Watashi and her twin brother, Wrath, to slay the, I've got Demonic Dragon, changing that. Just an evil dragon in order to revive, it says her Wrath, it's meant to say her brother. Romance, possible. Phelan is focused on her quest, but is considering retiring and going legit after reviving her brother. Preference. Phelan is serious and determined. She is a serious and determined thief. She prefers watching people and living vicariously through them. She loves people who get excited easily and they're energetic. What is wrong with how... He won't age. So Silver Griffin has asked, what is wrong with the way Wrath was brought back? He's undead. He's a ghost. He will not age. And eventually Urei kind of get a little crazy. He will probably die again. And die again, like, undead. You know what I mean? He will die again probably in a very messy manner. Yeah, it depends on how the rolls go. So she loves energetic people. Her favorite meal is Ghostfire roasted peppers. Preferred gifts, masterwork or magical thieves tools, valuable gems, gifts, valuable gems, or gifts for Wrath or Watashi. So if you give her a gift that she can give to her brother or her best friend, then she likes that. She prefers getting gifts for other people. How would a Wrath Urei react to true resurrection so they can cure undeath? Yeah, no, that would work. They're undead. That's how that works. Hated insults, insulting the Shadow Cats, calling her a criminal, insulting her intelligence or plans. So Faith is very, very smart, or at the very least, she's got a 15 intellect. It's pretty good. She's kind of the planner of the Shadow Cats. Like, she's not like a mathematical genius, but she's the one doing all the thinking all the time. Personality trope, emotionless thinker. Growing up as an orphan with an emotional and outgoing girl like Watashi, forced Faith to mature quickly. She doesn't outwardly display emotion, but has immense love for her brother and Watashi, whom she sees as a sister. She often smiles while watching them without realizing it. In my mind, Faith and Watashi are best friends. I know a lot of people are going to ask, can you put them together? And I'm like, maybe, depending on how your campaign goes, but I personally do not see them together. I see all three of them thinking that they're siblings, and I prefer that. I like a group of siblings. Let's see. Yep. Being a ghost isn't fun. Yeah, so people are just talking about that. So what are her camp activities? So if you're asking about the Shadow Cats as cat calling, that would make Bright Luster laugh. All right, unique activities for Faith. Secret base. Growing up on the streets has made Faith paranoid and vigilant. Faith always makes sure to find and reinforce a campsite with strategic checkpoints made for defense. Whenever Faith performs the finding campsite activity, treat his results as one step better. However, it takes 4 hours instead of 2. Not historical Betsy's. That is a if that's what I think it is, I'm gonna skip past that. Silent stalking. Faith stalks prey using her scouting skills. Because Faith is only hunting prey and not foraging, treat the zone DC for the activity as one step higher. Faith can perform the hunt and gather using the following skill checks. So if she is hunting and gathering, she can use stealth instead of survival, which is pretty huge. But because she's using her best stat, the DC of the zone is one step higher. Seduce both her and Watashi first, then get her to not step back and favor Watashi for the harem ending. Listen, I actually, we've gotten to know each other pretty well at this point. Had I had known that the twins were an option when I played Kingmaker, I would have romanced the twins. I would have I would have played me and Romance the Twins. Trust me. Let's see. Watashi seems like she would adopt ducklings who lost their mother. Oh my god, yes, absolutely. Watashi is also bringing back dead kids as Yurei, and I think I even put that in her backstory. Next. Oh, we get to talk about Hana. Okay. Hana Buna. Hana Buna is my sand elf girl. Now you notice she has red hair, her eyes are open, and she dresses like this. So Hana was my attempt to make a love mage that is asexual. She's also pretty much aromantic. So, we'll talk about that. I love writing this character. I am currently playing her in our Rune Lords campaign, and man, she's interesting. It's all about finding the secret harem ending. Absolutely. So, Hana Buna, she is currently traveling with House Chadris, meaning she is traveling with Lysander and Okutsuna, the orc girl. Hana travels with Lysander and Okutsuna to slay the dragon terrorizing the countryside, meaning she is working with them to get the wish. Romance? Possible. Hana doesn't feel romantic love or desire, or has yet to feel that for anyone in particular, but is open to the idea of one day having a partner or children. Yeah, I know. I didn't seek, like, again, I don't write in order to purposely represent people. I just wrote what I thought was interesting and contradictory. Yeah. Preference. Hana is more interested in a person's history, mentality, and personality rather than physical appearance. Hana will choose a partner if they are emotionally or mentally stimulating for her. Her favorite meal is Phoenix fried rice. Her preferred gifts are masterwork, calligraphy, or art supplies. Appealing clothing, meaning basically like sexy outfits. She still likes to dress sexy, and I don't know why, but every asexual I met likes to look good. Maybe this is just me, like, having some confirmation bias, but a lot of ace people that I met like to be attractive, but not like... You know what I mean? Maybe not objectified. I'm not certain what I'm saying here. This is just a habit that I've noticed of ace people, and I just incorporated that into her personality. So she likes to dress sexy. She just doesn't like sex. She likes appealing clothing, personal favors, and errands being handled so she doesn't have to. You want to get married to evade taxes? We could have sorted them in alphabetical via guild. Maybe. Again, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to restructure most of this book because we're adding like 4 chapters. So most of this is probably getting removed anyway. All right. Hated insults. Insulting her eyes, her skin, or tattoos, or insulting her manga without reading it. Hana hates being judged based on appearances. We're going to talk about the manga in a second. Personality trope. Indifferent, absent-minded author. Hana hangs around people for inspiration for her book. She can sometimes come off as thoughtless because she enjoys the story of people that she interacts with. So, Hana Buna is she is the patroned artist of House Chadris, which is the house of the Asamar on the cover. The Asamar on the cover, so this guy, Lysander, he is part of a noble family that goes back generations. Like, it is an ancient bloodline. And she works for them, and she creates a manga called Dress to Kill. The Chadris household are a family of tailors, and they're very, very wealthy, and they pay her to create a manga that makes their family look good. Ace Samar. No, Lysander is not Ace. Only Hana is. With one word, I love her. There is such a thing as complimenting a girl without objectifying her. Fair enough. No, absolutely. I do agree with that. She's a mangaka waifu. Yeah. So, she creates a manga called Dress to Kill. It features a fictionalized, not to mention glorified, progenitor of House Chadris, meaning she is writing the history, the fictional history of House Chadris, like the first guy. Like most Noble-sponsored artists, her manga is being used by the house in order to improve their public perception and smear their detractors. Isn't that what Kill la Kill is supposed to be called? Not really. Not really. So, again, this is where I'm going to talk about where I have a very tragic character. Backstory. Hana was born in Salabim and given the birth name Amira. She was born to a semi-successful family of rug makers. As a child of a crafter, Amira learned how to make beautiful artwork from her father. Though she was second born, because of the laws of Salabim, her blue-haired brother could not own a business. Because of this, she was expected to inherit their shop when her father retired. Unfortunately, due to a shift in the country's power, we'll talk about this later, her family was forced to move into a new town where they saw almost no financial success. Her father fell ill trying to provide for them, leading Amira to take over the business. During this time, a lesser prince of the town offered to marry Amira and solve their financial problems. Amira agreed, financial marriages being a fairly common occurrence. On the day when they arrived at his palace, the prince instead killed Amira's father and imprisoned Amira and her mother together in his harem. Together they were trapped for several years while her brother was nowhere to be seen. In this harem, Amira spent several years as little more than a slave. I knew how to pronounce this word at one point, but this basically means concubine. As a concubine of the harem, she learned to harness the magics of a love mage, biding her time. One night, she and a few other women performed a daring escape. During the retreat, several women were killed by the prince's guards. One of the victims was Amira's mother, killed at the hand of her brother. So the brother was removed from the equation and turned into a house guard. Amira escaped, making her way to a new land where she used her artistic and love skills to find herself as the head artist of the Chadras household. Hana Buna is the name Amira gave to herself after leaving Salabim, serving as a means to hide herself and as a pen name. Yep. This was kind of the reason I put in that, This was the reason I put in that disclaimer at the beginning. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. But in my mind, I find this to be I like sad characters. I like tragic backstories. Yep. No, it's fucked up. Can we go and off the brother? Here's the thing. It's not the darkest, absolutely not, but it's rough. It is probably the roughest backstory that I have in here because this is incredibly personal. I'm curious about the law that prevented her brother from inheriting the business. So in Salabim, again, I may or may not change that name. I've gotten some complaints over that name, but I'm leaving it for now. In the country, red-haired sand elves and glass elves are the only people that can may change that. Red-haired sand elves are, at the moment, the only people who can inherit land and own a business. Blue hairs are second-class citizens because they're seen as magical freaks. Because her brother was a blue hair, he couldn't own a business. Here's the thing, though. If you know anything about cultures that have harems, if you put a male guard as a guard of the harem, they straight up castrate them. They're called eunuchs. And the thing I wanted to imply here is that he was turned into a harem guard by this prince. So the brother has not had a good time either, and that is something that will happen. Damn blue here. Yeah, racism law. Absolutely. Yeah, no. Again, dark, but that's what I'm going for. I'm going for it. Like, we're making that happen. Yeah, they're called eunuchs. And yeah, like in China. Yeah, they have them there too. They have them in Middle Eastern cultures, and I believe even, like, I know there's a few Western kings that also adopted that. It wasn't just an Eastern thing or a Middle Eastern thing. But yeah, the brother has not had a good time either. Yeah. So when his like backstory comes out, that's going to be part of it. Yep, Queen's Guard, eunuchs, back since ancient Egypt. Thank you. Yep, there we go. I knew I was missing one. So yeah, here's her stats. I basically made her, I made her a love mage. So that's a 5e subclass. She is a love mage. She also has Scroll Scholar, Lore Master for Pathfinder. She also can scribe tattoos. Yeah. I like that it left it vague. No, I left it vague. This is me, as in Stuart, kind of telling you what I think. And I'm kind of giving you spoilers. Who's up for some regicide? Oh, here's the thing. Okay, I know Kitsu's going to pop off at this. So we just came up with glass elves. And we came up with the lore for glass elves. So the way it works, I talked about glass elves last week, I think. And they are a mythic upgrade to sand elves. There are sometimes people born as glass elves too. And in the lore that Kitsu and I are making is that the population of Salabim is 1 million sand elves. And there are like almost exactly, maybe not exactly, but there are 100 glass elves. So there's 1 million sand elves, 100 glass elves. So you have a 1 in 10,000 chance of being born as a glass elf. What are glass elves? They come in 2 varieties. They come in crystal and they come in obsidian. And they're basically mythic sand elves. Now, the way the sand elf culture works is it's a very feudal state. There is a grand sultan that is in charge of the country, and then there are lesser sultans in like in a very feudal system. Now, the sultans they have this really arrogant generosity where they always send their best soldiers to neighboring countries as a gift. And it's almost like a hostage exchange. But what they do is they send their best soldier out. And the attitude is very, oh, we know that you're inferior, so we're going to give you our best guy to help you. And the thing is, the Sand Elf warriors are so well trained that very few places turn them down. But with the Glass Elves, they never send those out. Every Glass Elf works for the Grand Sultan. And when one is born, they just have magics to pick up on it. They know when a glass elf is born, so they'll go out and pick them up. They will take the glass elves to a special academy called the Observatory. The Observatory is a black building with a glass dome, and this glass dome has a telescope pointed at the sun at all times. This is a special academy where this is the only place where you're openly allowed to like study arcane magic. And the way it works is when glass elves grow up, they always pair them off. They always pair off 1 obsidian, 1 crystal, and they always pair off 1 male, 1 female. The logic is they're hoping that these 2 will grow up and be elite soldiers. And on top of that, they're hoping that they'll fall in love and try to make more glass babies. So if 2 regular sand elves have a baby, 1 in 10,000 chance. If 2 glass elves have a baby, 1 in 10 chance of having a glass elf baby. No green glass elves? I'm inclined not to. We are such chads. Here's a pity soldier. Yes. Doesn't that break the telescope? Nope. This is where you put your Eldritch Knights and Paladins. Yes. So, yeah, that's what they do. It's eugenics. So, if at any point you, let's say you do something to insult the Grand Sultan, or you, like, let's say you're a glass elf that runs away. One thing that I will note, glass elves are basically born mythic. They go through special training to unlock their inherent mythic powers. It sounds like the mages from Dragon Age are bearers from Final Fantasy 16. Exactly. Yes. No, that's a great example. Uranium. Ooh. Kitsu, write that down. Write down uranium. It would be weird. Listen, I'm going to come back to the observatory, okay? But in the observatory, they train them not only to learn fighting, arcane magics, and make them well educated, they also train them to unlock their mystic powers. So, but by the time they're adults, they're ridiculously strong. Like, there is not a full-grown, fully trained glass elf that is not like level 12 with like 3 to 5 mythic ranks. They're scary. And if you do anything to piss off the Grand Sultan, they send a pair after you. And like sending a pair of them after you who have grown up together, they're in love, they have teamwork features that play off of each other, and they are used to fighting more people, that is a scary predicament. And in my mind, I think it would be great if the prince that kept Hana Buna for all those years was a glass elf, and he's looking for her. I think that would be really sick, and a really good mini boss is a pair of glass elves, and if you're friends with Hana, they're coming for you. So I really like that. Also, I'm getting tagged. What is happening? Got it. Got it. All right, cool. Cool. We can come with that. Okay, cool. So, yeah. So I think that would be cool. I like that a lot. I think that'd be a fun boss. I'll shatter him with my boot. Gotta give him these hands. Bonded pair soldiers. Yep. That is good drama. Yep. So I think the reason we came up with that is Kitsu is like, what if a glass elf runs away and elopes with somebody? Oh, he'll send a pair after you. He'll send a pair of glass elves that know what they're doing, too. Making our work easier. Oh, yeah. People who are keeping up with the Rune Lords campaign, they just recruited Hana, and Hana, through some mythic bullshit, just got turned into an obsidian elf. So I know several of my Rune Lords boys are watching this right now, and they're like, oh, we're going to get jumped. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Okay. So Hana Buna's unique camp activities. For her first one, she can create a manga chapter. So last week we talked about the activity Tell a Campfire Story, which is a very, very powerful buff, but Hana has a unique version of this. This activity takes 8 hours instead of the usual 2. However, it can be done in 2-hour increments. Hana writes and illustrates a new chapter of her manga. This manga chapter can be stored as a permanent item in the player's inventory. Hana rolls the skill check for the Tell a Campfire Story with the following skills to determine what is the effectiveness of this manga chapter. She can roll that. This manga chapter can be read by any character at any time performing the relax activity and gains the benefit of the Tell a Campfire Story activity, even if no one is performing it. A character can only gain the benefit of this manga chapter once before they must read a new chapter. Is it Red Obsidian? What's up? I'm just reading what chat is saying. Also, I'm just double checking the Kickstarter. 1 second. I realize my door is open. I need to go close it. 1 moment. Reusable for different characters? Yep. So let's say Hana spends 8 hours creating a manga chapter. One character can read it and gain the benefit of the campfire story, and then another character can read it, and then another character can read it, and they all gain the benefit at different times a day. Anime fan, hopefully us getting jumped would at least take a little time. It's our only hope. That and more mythic ranks. Yep. But yep. Why does these glass elf pairings sound a little fantastic matchmaking for the best genes and maintaining the social order? Seems a little cultish. I mean, absolutely. Yeah. If you had the ability to create a mythic baby, and if your society benefits immensely from. Yeah, no, that's the idea, bro. It's meant to be creepy. It's meant to be problematic. I put that in all of my writings. It's meant to be weird. Does taking a purple hair feat for Sandel's make them affect the mythic evolution? I'm going to say at the moment, no. We'll come back to that though, again, because I didn't expect to get this far. So we're probably going to rework the purple hair feat a bit. If anything, I might just remove it because honestly, it's not that great. Yeah, think super soldier energy. Think Saiyans or maybe Viltrumites. Think something like that. And again, too, not only are glass elves like socially inclined to get together, but they're also like vaguely attracted to each other. Like 9 out of 10 times, a pairing between glass elves is completely consensual and unforced. They just end up getting together. And I'm sure we'll come up with really fun lore for that. But between the social like expectations and the fact that it just kind of happens, they 9 times out of 10, if a glass elf gets together with a glass elf is going to get together with a glass elf. Also, I should point out that again, this culture is going to be it's going to have some sexism. The only time a female sand elf is never punished for infidelity is if she's a glass elf that has an affair with another glass elf. That is the only time a female sand elf is never punished for that. Makes me think of Darling in the Franxx a touch. A little bit. So is Hana that 1/10 of the time where she didn't care for it? Hana evolved into a glass elf. She wasn't born one. Hana has these eyes, not because she's a glass elf, but because she bought arcane sight and made it permanent. Pair of male glass elves that are effectively on the run from the Sultanate because they're gay. That's funny. I like that. And absolutely. Bottleneck gene pool? We'll see. But yeah. Anyway. Love magic. As a love mage, Hana can perform the Hurt So Good ability granted by her subclass, granting the following benefits for 24 hours. So we talked about the love mage a few weeks ago. She can give a party member that benefit. Jadenite? We'll see. I'd like to keep it to just red and blue hair. I am less inclined for green hair simply because... meh. Is the Sultan a glass elf? I haven't decided. I have not decided yet, but probably. Part of me thinks it's almost more interesting if he's not. Yeah, part of me thinks it's more interesting if he's not a glass elf. But the prince who caught Hana Buna, definitely a glass elf. Right. Okay. Next. Some people already picked up on this name. Lysander Astolfano de la Chadras. He is an ASMR fencer. He is a battle bride. Half-baked cat? No. Do they gain special abilities when their partner dies? Not really. Yep. Anyway, moving on. I gotta go to Lysander. I can't be here all night. We got like a bunch of other NPCs to get through. Tristan, I could just hand wave it and say glass elves don't have that problem because mythic bullshit. Again, this is a fantasy setting, and I'm thinking when it comes to glass, because the glass elves are mythic, they just don't have that problem. Yep. Lysander. Adventuring party. House Chadras. Lysander travels with Okutsuna and Hana Buna on a quest to slay the dragon terrorizing the countryside. Why did you make the glass elf lore so interesting? Listen, this is what I do. This is what we do. And by the way, his name is absolutely a pun. I'm just going to point it out. Lysander, honestly, this is a cool name. Astolfano, that's Astolfo. It's a femboy. He's a femboy. De la of the Chadress household. Chadress is exactly what it looks like. Chad dress. It's an awful pun, and I love it. So yeah. Anyway. Let's see. Romance. Unlikely. Lysander is on a quest to slay the dragon, not only to save innocence, but he's also out to make his marriage with Okutsuna legitimate. So at the point in the book where you probably meet him, he and Okutsuna, as in our orc girl, probably married. Let's see. Preferences. Lysander prefers feminine things in all aspects of his life. His wife, despite being a capable warrior, is secretly very girly. And enjoys bonding with her over fashion and gossip. Favorite meal, Bulette Wellington or any meal made by Okutsuna. Preferred gifts, fine threads, fine art, and fine wine. Hated insults, insulting his family, his friends, or his wife. While Lysander laughs off direct insults to himself, he refuses to tolerate those that insult what he loves. Sometimes it takes a real man to be best girl. So again, I have them married in the book. You can choose not to do this. And again, this is kind of a reference to Joe Cat. So originally in this book, Joe Cat was supposed to be Lysander. This was supposed to be Joe. And as the book started developing, I didn't feel right, like, making him a main character. Not because I didn't want him in the book, but because, again, you guys saw, I really like problematic writing. I like it when the series is dark. I like it when things are fucked up. And Joe, I know it's going to cause controversy, and it's not fair to Joe that I drag him into a situation where someone is going to complain about my story, and he's going to be, like, dragged into this. Someone is going to complain to Joe and say, hey, why are you in a story with, like, this problematic stuff in it? And I'm going to be like, it's because what I wrote. So taking out Joe was a means to protect him from my bullshit, not as a means of getting Joe removed from the project. Trade it. Oh, thank you. Just pledge. Have fun with the 65 hours. You and everyone else deserve it. Thank you so much. So battle skirts are a valid combat outfit. Bro, I love Lysander. He looks so fucking cool. I don't know, like, I told my artist, JK, I told her when she designed this, I want a masculine-looking dress, but I still want it to be frilly, and I want it to be plated. I don't know how she fucking did it, but this is, like, the most masculine, badass dress I have ever seen. I would wear this dress. Could have named it Lysander Joseph to keep the rest of... I'm choosing not... Well, maybe, you know what? I got it. They have a baby named Joseph. Handshake? Handshake? So, yeah. If they have a baby, they name it Joseph. Let's see. Lysander... Also, I didn't, that was to protect Joe. Anyway, personality trope. Proud, noble fencer. Lysander enjoys feminine aesthetics, hobbies, and pastimes. However, Lysander is a man of resolve, commitment, and ambition. Lysander believes that he will raise his family's position by his own hand and making his own choices. So basically, Lysander is in an arranged marriage with another noble, but he is questing with Okutsuna in order to marry her because they grew up together. House Chadress are not only famous tailors, they also have they are also famous for their private military, and their private military are called battle maids. And the head of the battle maids is the battle bride. Lysander is the head of his private military. So he is the battle bride in charge of basically his military. That's why he wears the dress. Also, he likes wearing it. If it's a baby girl, Josephine, yeah. Let's see. Combat skirts, yeah. I do like Josephine. You know what? Joe would be very... You know what? If it's a girl and they name it Josephine, I know for a fact Joe Cat would love that himself. So, yeah. Anyway, let's see. Personality, backstory. Yeah, so he is actually like the noble fencer type. He's very snooty, very... he's kind, but he also thinks he's better than you because he's an old-fashioned noble. He is very much like, I will protect the weak, common, like, uneducated crowd. Like, it's a very nice sentiment, but, and again, this is going to sound bad, it's very white man's burden-y. You know what I mean? It's problematic, and I made it that on purpose. Again, he comes from a family that thinks like this. He's also an Aasimar, and Aasimar are blessed by the gods. One thing I want to point out, this is going to be a giant spoiler, but you know, if we get around to this, in my mind, the progenitor of House Chadris, meaning the first person of House Chadris, was Daphne's husband. I like to think it's them that founded House Chadris, and when Daphne left to go out into the world, like 1,000 years ago or whatever, you know, her bloodline was still part of it, which is why he's an Aasimar. How's he an Aasimar? I just explained it. How would one earn his begrudging expect? So yeah, that's what I think the lore is Daphne's first husband was the guy who founded House Chadris. So let's see. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jinx. His unique camp activities, practice duel. Lysander and another character can spend 2 hours practicing their fencing and fighting techniques. Make a single attack roll with both characters. The character with the higher attack roll gains the result and the following benefit for 24 hours. If it's 5e, a single attack roll. If it's Pathfinder, however, I like this one. Automatic critical success on a single critical hit roll, or a single critical hit with an attack roll using a weapon with the sword group will succeed on a 9 above the 10 of the AC instead of a 10. So in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, in order to crit, you need to roll 10 higher than their armor class. Well, this makes it so that instead of a 10, you only need a 9 to crit. And I like that a lot. Didn't I suggest? No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I came up with that while I was not sober one day. I don't recall anyone suggesting that. Are you going to have... So when I make the adventure path, I want it to be its own book. And with this adventure path, I want major encounters to be manga panel style. And I want there to be manga panels explaining what the other parties are doing outside of the players. So like while the players are level 1 and let's say they encounter Akiko, Lysander and Okutsuna are like I don't know, fighting like not a Baylor, fighting, I don't know, rust monsters or something. And then let's say the other characters are doing this and this. I want there to be segments in the campaign where time passes. Like it would be a campaign that would have time skips and several years in between certain chapters. So let's say levels 1 through 4, the party does this. And during that time skip, the party will level up to a certain extent, but so will these characters. So like House Chadris will start at level 1 as well. The Shadowcats all start at level 1. The players start at level 1. And the Wolf Pack, they start at like level 5. They actually got a head start. And I'll explain that in a bit. In the adventure path or the book module or whatever, if you don't kill these guys, they level up and have character arcs off screen that will be explained through manga panels. So if its AC is 9, you need an 18 instead of 9? Correct. So like the Pathfinder 1E chapter stories? Kinda, a little bit. But yeah, I do want manga panels to be incorporated into their stories. Kind of like the idea of when the party takes a month to travel. That said, the time skip is fighting and doing... Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So that's what I definitely really, really want. And it's one of the reasons why I want to make the adventure book its own standalone thing. I'm thinking of calling it... I'm trying to remember the name I came up with like way long ago when this was just a pie in the sky dream. I think the name I came up with was something like the Dragon Bride or something like that. The story would be called The Dragon Bride, and it would basically be this cat and mouse chase where the party thinks that Daphne's the evil dragon terrorizing the countryside. And I think I even wrote down originally that she was, but I think I did change that at one point and I just forgot to update it. So there is a dragon destroying the countryside, and it's found out that Daphne is a divine dragon, and so the party's kind of hunting her down, as sad as it is. So, or something like that. I'm not quite sure. I just know that's what I want to achieve, is I want there to be time skips. I want there to be like things like that. Hunt of the Dragon Bride. Ooh, that's really good. Which one is your wife's favorite? Hana. Easy. So there's just to note, during this adventure, there are 4 adventuring parties that are going to be like hunting Daphne, essentially. House Chadris, the Shadowcats, the Wolf Pack, and your party. Your party is also hunting her down. And again, all the clues and all of the like hints and stories and stuff are going to imply that that's happening. Oh, goodness. Yep. So all of them are hired by the king, essentially. Yeah. It's going to be tricky, but I am confident that I can pull it off. But yeah, Hana's the one drawing the panels. You got it. That was the implication. That was the whole implication, is that Hana's the one drawing these panels. And at the end, it will show the manga address the kill. I have an idea in the brainstorm chat real quick. Absolutely. All right, he's dropping it. Y'all mind watching something with me real quick? Hold up. Or you mind listening to it with me real quick? Hold on. I'm going to... One moment. My editor sent me the YouTube short for Barbarians today. I want to watch it real quick. Barbarians... One second. I'm thinking of something with more detail. Here's the thing, too. I also personally think that stories should be relatively simple, but have complicated, like, character elements. I don't need, like, 18,000 years of lore in order to pull this off. I just want just enough lore. I want to leave it vague enough, too, that players can add their own things. Imagine, if you will, Strixhaven, if Strixhaven had a well-prepared story. But let me listen to this real quick. Okay. have been made in a lot of interesting flavors over the past few years. At level 3, they gain a subclass that narratively grants them paths that shape the nature of their rage. They're all really cool, but also a little samey. They're all just kind of angy. But what if we took the Barbarian and instead of giving them very specific powers, we give them a reason to fight? Well, in my book, The Complete Waifu Handbook, which now has less than a week left on Kickstarter, you could take the subclass The Path of the Promised. With this Barbarian path, you basically become the dad of war, and you realize that you have something to live for. So long as you carry a token of whomever you made your promise to, you gain massive rage bonuses, saving throw advantages, meaning normally the ones that aren't afforded to them, a die-hard feature that protects you from death once per long rest, and the ability to grant all of your allies your resistances. And you can also heal your allies whenever you do damage with your capstone. My goal with this book was to encourage teamwork features, and that means incorporating roleplay directly into the mechanics. I think this is especially important to our favorite Blood Ragers because Barbarians have been made in a lot of... Okay, I'm good with that. Thank you. I had to check that for my editor. Thank you very much for being so patient. Has this gone up at all? I wonder. Sure has. We're almost at 15,000. Holy shit. Thank you. Is that shade I see? Maybe. We need to make it One Piece. No. I already made that mistake once with my Pokemon campaign. I am not One Piecing ever again. I've done that too many times. Trust me. For your own sanity. Don't do that. Don't do it. Anyway, back to this. Alrighty. Okay, so practice duel, reinforced dress. Not wild about this one, but I like the concept, but I do want to make this either stronger or different depending on the system. As an expert seamster, Lysander has helped his family create hundreds of battle dresses over the course of his lifetime. Lysander can reinforce light and cloth armor with special threads, padding, and folding techniques. During that time, the armor of a chest piece gains +1 AC bonus, which lasts until the wearer takes damage, is grappled, or after being worn for 24 hours, whichever comes first. No need to. Oh, no need to make it One Piece. My bad. My bad. Afotep. What is One Piecing? Leo the Lion. Sounds paladin-y, but I like the concept for barbarian. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. All right. Are we technically playing the bad guys? We'll see. I don't... Again, a lot of this is, like... Not all of it's done yet. And I also like not knowing how it's done yet. I don't want to be committed to an idea. I do think the best stories are kind of come up with on the fly a little bit. It'll take some work. Too late, I'm working One Piecing my homebrew setting. Best of luck. Best of luck, bro. Whew. All right. You've been on a kill streak with your content. Thank you. Yes, I'm very happy with it. We might even gain 4,000 subs this month, which is crazy. I don't think I've ever gained 4,000 subs in a single month. Let me check real quick. Where are we at? Checking my... We still are gaining 100,000 views a day. And so we're gaining like a couple hundred subs a day too. It's crazy. Never in my life have I had a month this good. Oh, okay. Understood. Ooh, interesting. You know, Strixhaven, but better. Yep. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry. Moving on. Okutsuna, our orc girl, our orc paladin girl, might I add. God, I love paladins. She is a member of House Chadris. Okutsuna travels with Lysander and Hana Buna on a quest to slay the dragon terrorizing the countryside. Romance? Unlikely. Okutsuna is dedicated to Lysander. They married secretly while adventuring, but understand their whirlwind romance may come to an end tragically and suddenly due to his status as a noble and her position as a battle maid. Again, we're going into problematic territories because a lot of people hate... power dynamics, and God, I have a lot of thoughts on this, but essentially, he is her boss. He is in charge of her private military. It is admittedly she married her boss. In a lot of places, that's not okay. But yeah. Preference. Okutsuna's only love has ever been Lysander. She finds his skills, charm, and confidence to be his best qualities. His prowess as a swordsman and his good looks are nothing that she'll complain about. If they were to separate, she is unsure of what her love life would look like. So basically, this is me like saying to the GM, if someone wants to marry Okutsuna, go for it, but it's going to be sad. Yeah. Let's see. Anyway, favorite meal, acid-seared gorgon ribs, preferred gifts, masterwork or magical cookware, large two-handed weapons, maid paraphernalia. Hated insults. Insulting her weight. I know that's going to upset somebody, but I like because orcs are chunkier, like by nature. That's what they are. And in this artwork, she's a little bit thinner, but in the animation on this Kickstarter, she's kind of heavy. She's thick, right? And she's very self-conscious about it. And I like that. I like how girly and like how human that is. So she has body issues with that. Insulting her weight, femininity, or orcish charm. She is proud of all of them and rightfully believes that it adds to her charm. Or her orcish heritage, excuse me. So yeah. I think I made her a half orc. I'm not certain if I'll make her a full orc or not. What if I want to marry both of them? Bro, go for it. I can hear Twitter screaming already. Yeah. Orcs are thick. Orcs are dense. I will tell you, okay. You may not be able to tell. I was very fat for a long time. I was at my heaviest, like 330. I was a big boy. About 5 or 6 years ago, I started taking my health very seriously. And now I'm very strong. I'm very thick. I have very dense muscles. But I still, yeah, I'm still fat. Like I'm still chunky. And it's hard for people to tell unless they can see me in a real tight shirt in real life and they realize it. But I feel this pain. I feel the pain of being muscular, but no one knows it. Yeah. So I feel this girl's pain, which is probably why she has this problem. Knowing you, there's probably going to be a secret harem ending. Would I write that? I try to avoid things that personally... my things, you know what I mean? I try to avoid things that I would personally enjoy. I just accidentally end up writing them. I don't seek out to go, all right, let's write the horny harem path. I just accidentally write things like that. Okay. All right. Anyway, personality trope. Surprisingly feminine warrior. Despite being powerful and immensely strong, Okutsuna is quite girly. She loves dresses, cooking, makeup, and jewelry. Outwardly, she seems like a walking contradiction, but she is a woman who enjoys being the strongest fighter in the room, but wants nothing more than to be a bride and a mother. I do think there should be characters who are like that. I miss characters who want to be brides and moms. So I made sure that she had that. Harem Path is $30 DLC. Same here. I'm 280, but only 20 pounds overweight. Kill a kill ending. Oh, I love that ending. That's a great ending. That was a nat 20 ending. I love that. So, yeah, Okutsuna is one of the battle bride. Not a battle bride. She's one of the battle maids of the Chadris private military. And she and Lysander grew up together. They're childhood friends. Because of course they are. They grew up together. They fell in love, but Lysander was promised to another. And Okutsuna kind of accepted that. She didn't like it, but she accepted it. While on the road, shit happened. They got married. She has 5 levels in Paladin, 5 levels in Waifu. And yeah, that's about it. She's just, there's not much else to her, to be honest. I kept her fairly simple. But I want her to be as girly as possible. If you play Okutsuna, and if she's not girly and complaining about breaking a nail while simultaneously crushing a million skulls underneath that giant fuck-off sword, you're playing her wrong. Just gonna say it. Problem comes with the only type of character. Yeah. There's an Apex anime wholesome outside. Like, yeah. No, absolutely. I love this. I like this pairing. It's simple, and it's a type of character that I really like. Let's see. Unique activity catering. Due to Okutsuna's maid training, she is not only a capable and powerful fighter, but an amazing cook capable of juggling the complexity of multiple special meals at once. Okutsuna can cook up to 2 special meals at a time instead of 1. I will need to trade this. I will need to fix this. In order to perform this activity, Okutsuna must have a helper. Someone must be performing aid to help her do this, because otherwise this is just a straight up upgrade to cook special meals. She decimates an entire horde of goblins, but then complains the entire day about a hangnail she just spotted. Absolutely. Did they fall in love before or during the power dynamic of boss and soldier? Huh. You know, I hadn't considered, like, when they fell in love. I think, part of me just thinks, you know, them growing up together, they just assumed they would either, like, be best friends or fall in love. I don't know. That's a good question. Personally, I like the idea that she fell in love with him when he became her boss and he started, like, really becoming a leader and a nobleman, where, you know, when a man takes on responsibilities, he grows up a little bit. And Lysander would be very much like a kid nobleman until he gets put in charge of the military. And then once he does that, he, like, really comes alive, and, like, the best parts of him show up. And when he's helping others, you know, he's just, again, it's a little condescending and it's a little problematic, but Okutsuna likes that he became alive. Like, he matured when he became in charge of her military. So you know what? I think she felt like she really cemented her feelings after he became her boss. 1, because it's problematic, and I like that. 2, because, again, it is a natural part of the character growth. And 3, it does give a reason for them to get married while adventuring. That is how I'm personally choosing to think about it. Again, you can choose that if you want. Yep. There was no specific point where love happened. I mean, kinda, like, what if I could get their marriage public and official? How much would they owe me? That feels like a problematic question, Black Samurai. I don't know where that's going, but we'll see. Again, I personally like it. Like, they always kind of liked each other. But once he came into his own and became responsible, I think that's when she realized, oh no, I want him. I love him. That's, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm for this. Yeah. No, I like it. Yeah, so I think she always liked him for the most part. But again, she knew herself she liked him when he became a leader. So that's what I'm going with it. Yep. They use sword to the neck. All right. Unique camp activity, Maidcraft. Okutsuna is a powerful fighter and a great homemaker and capable of understanding the nuances of and needs of a master. As such, if she aids another creature during the camp activity, she grants the following benefits. Essentially, she is just better at the assist other camp activity. Hold up. I want to watch the number go up. Woo! 115, baby! Let's go! Woo! So when did he love her? You know what? I want to think Lysander always liked her. Lysander was head over heels immediately. As soon as he saw her in the maid dress, bam, that was the moment. I don't care how old he was, probably something older, maybe like 5 or 8. But he was like, that's the girl I'm going to marry. She is so cute in that dress. And the thing is, though, like his teachers or his parents told him, no, 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 don't do that. And so he kind of like buried it. Okutsuna slowly realized it. Lysander always knew it. I like that. Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. Thank you. So yeah, I like to think that. It's an orc maid. Makes sense. Wouldn't you? Oh! Setsumaru! Let's go! Clarifying, I was thinking like money and her protection. So, Prince Setsumaru. So, some people may have noticed his... Can she deadlift him? I'm the wife. That waifu. I'm a wife, that waifu. Absolutely. And can he deadlift her? I think he's strong. What did I give him in terms of strength? I gave him an 11 strength. Deadlift, for sure. Bench press, not so much. I'm sure his mental health is fine. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love that you guys are popping off of this. Thank you. That is a... So, some of you may have noticed that this design is inspired by a certain anime. That is on purpose, and I will not change it. I also know that the author of this anime does not care if I do this. So, we're just going to leave it alone. And yes, Winter's Promised King. So, Setsumaru is married to Princess Kriega. So actually, I think I'll go with Princess Kriega first. So these characters are both Okami. She is a dire wolf, and he is a winter wolf. She comes from a clan. She actually came from the dire wolf clan that was the first victims of the dragon terrorizing the countryside. So I'm going to talk about Kriega real quick. She is called the Mad Dog. She's a barbarian. She travels with the wolf pack. She travels with her dire wolf named Vargas and her husband Setsumaru on a quest to slay the dragon plaguing the land. Romance, nearly impossible. Kriega and Setsumaru are now soul bonded through an ancient wedding ceremony. Preference, Kriega is only interested in the strong and powerful. No man has ever been able to tame her or her heart until Setsumaru proved himself to her on their wedding, or on their adventure and during their wedding. Her favorite meal is red cap rye. Preferred gifts, magical armor, hair. Oh yeah, she likes taking care of her hair. That is one thing that is the one girly trait I gave this one. This is probably the very Amiri-like character where she's very like, I'll fucking kill you. That's kind of my masculine girl. You know what I mean? This is the one who will kill you for looking at her wrong. But she likes hair care products. She likes taking care of her hair. I wanted that to be a thing. Let's see. Favorite gifts, magical armor, hair care supplies, dog toys and treats for Vargas, her dire wolf. Hated insults. Calling her, her husband, or her tribe weak or lazy. In the dire wolf tribe, weakness is considered to be a cardinal sin. Personality type, aggressive meat and potatoes barbarian. Kriega is a simple woman. She likes displays of strength, whether it be mental, physical, or spiritual, but respects physical strength the most. I can tame her. Actually, no. So, coming back. Okay. Backstory. Kriega was born to the direwolf clan as the daughter of the current chief. Though their rule could be supplanted... Okay, so the chief of the direwolves can be supplanted by a stronger direwolf. Though the rule could be supplanted by a stronger Okami, this was unlikely to ever occur. The direwolves practiced arranged marriages, guaranteeing that the strongest males and females the right to have children. This right extended to the clan's bonded direwolf pack. So the direwolves have direwolf pets, who were selectively bred to assure the strongest warrior scouts and leaders. Anyway. As Kriega grew, she became bonded with a young direwolf pup and began to practice the sacred art of a berserker, with Vargas serving as her war dog. As luck would have it, she also fell in love with the strongest Okami in her village, a fellow berserker named Stark. All seemed well for young Kriega, who was fully prepared to become chief. In a deed of epic proportions, Kriega earned her family family's sacred relic, the Binding Blade, at an age earlier than any before her. With such mighty proof of strength and Stark as her husband, Kriega looked forward to creating a strong future for her tribe with the strongest man that she knew. She even suspected she might give birth to a small pup of her own. But everything changed when the dragon attacked. Her strength, her dogs, and her blade meant nothing to its fiery onslaught. What's even worse is that she lost Stark. She watched helplessly as he burnt alive in dragon fire. The direwolf clan retreated to the cold mountains where they encountered a once-enemy tribe, the Winter Wolves. However, rather than finishing off their wounded enemies, the Frost Okami welcomed the lost clan into their homes. It was then that the two chiefs suggested that the prophesied Setsumaru should marry the Okami's strongest princess in order to carry both of their tribes' legacies. It's a reference. I love her heel armor. All right. Kriega hated the idea of marrying a pretentious frost child, and the two fought constantly, nearly tearing the clans into full-out war. It was at this point both chieftains ordered that Kriega and Setsumaru should be tasked with eliminating the dragon, under the threat of excommunication. So, the dragon was tasked to both of them in order to inherit the position of chief. In reality, this was a tactic to get the bickering pair away from the village. Setsumaru's prophecy had nothing to do with the dragon, so that the clan leaders believe... Yeah, so... Actually, I probably should explain Setsumaru first. So... Yeah. Kriega, very simple lady, right? She had a husband. She was the strongest Okami in her village. She was ready to become chief. Then the dragon attacked, right? Let's go back to Setsumaru. Anyway, Winter's Promised King. Adventuring party Wolfpack. Setsumaru travels with his wife. Romance is nearly impossible. Preference. Setsumaru recognizes that there is more than one kind of strength. Setsumaru values cunning and intelligence. On their adventure, he learned that Kriega is wise in areas where he is not, and this melted his heart. Favorite meal, Frostwolf Donuts. Preferred gifts, anything technological, such as a music box, academic books, or gifts for his wife. Hated insults, insulting his intelligence, barbarian or economy tribes, or insulting his wife. Personality, cold and calculating warrior. Setsumaru is a man's man. He is powerful and talented athlete, but understands that a sharp mind and a strong hand is the key to a great leader. So, Stark and Direwolves. Game of Thrones. That's the reference. In Game of Thrones, the Stark household, their sigil was a direwolf. So that's the reference. All right. Occupation. Setsumaru and his wife are on a quest to slay the demonic dragon that is plaguing the countryside as part of their trial to inherit the right to rule their respective tribes. Setsumaru's birth was foretold by the oracles of his tribe. According to their prophecies, a winter wolf would be born on the night of a bloody moon that will lead the winter wolves out of the mountains and into the modern world. However, something unusual occurred for the Winter Wolf tribes. They have formed an alliance with the Direwolves, and Setsumaru was betrothed to Kriega, the next suspected heir. As part of their rite of passage to gain leadership, they have been tasked with slaying the demonic dragon that has been plaguing the countryside. Backstory. According to the Frozen Oracles, Setsumaru was prophesied as the king to lead their tribe into the modern age. He was raised from birth to be a ruler that the world would recognize, studying both warrior and scholarly arts. However, after the arrival of the fractured Direwolf clan, Setsumaru at first rejected Kriega after learning that she was married beforehand. The Winter Wolves mated for life, and Setsumaru was uninterested in a hot-headed and soiled bitch. After several months of arguments between the two, the tribe sent Kriega and Setsumaru on a quest to slay the demonic dragon, to which they both begrudgingly accepted. On their quest, Setsumaru learned of Kriega's skills, catching him off guard in many instances. Kriega had wisdom where he had not anticipated, being able to perceive things in a way he had not considered, her raw power and loyalty to her clan being her best qualities in his eyes. After winning his heart, Setsumaru formally asked Kriega to marry him despite their quest. When she enthusiastically agreed, Setsumaru smiled as he realized that he made the right choice. He is named after his grandmother. Setsumaru was known to have a heart as cold as ice and was raised to be a warrior king. He is distant, methodical, and always on task. Setsumaru is more concerned with avenging his wife's clan and fulfilling his destiny and saving others, and he respects strength, honor, and ruthlessness to his enemies. Why is wisdom intelligence so low? Here's the thing. There is, I think his Pathfinder stats are better. Nope, they're not. Here's the thing. There is doing what there is doing what the stats say, and there's doing what the story said. I am saying Setsumaru is smart. His intelligence is a 10 because he's not as educated as he could be. The last sentence of the backstory reads very fanfiction-y. Okay. Named after his grandmother. You did not. I did. Yep. So, yeah. Essentially, I made him smart in the story, even though his stat is a 10. I don't care. Treat him as smart. I want him to be treated as smart. He just doesn't have the education that others have. And personally, I like that. I do think that there should be characters who are witty, but not necessarily their intelligence is high. Was his grandmother maybe an ally to a certain healer? We can certainly put that in there. I'm definitely going to. He's street smart. Yeah, we'll go with that. Grandfather was a cleric. I do like that. Yeah, that's fine. All right, unique camp activity, cryo sleep. Setsumaru spends 2 hours chilling the camp sleeping areas, encouraging deeper and more restful sleep. Character who spend 8 hours resting with his in a camp where Setsumaru has performed this activity gain the following benefits. Basically, more hit points. This activity can only be learned when performed by a creature who can use spells or abilities that deal cold damage or have the cold trait. He also has ice bath. This is a very manosphere thing, but in the manosphere, there is a trend right now in taking ice baths. Supposedly it's very good for you. I don't know anything about it, but I put it in here anyway because, again, I made Setsumaru very manly and very masculine, so I thought it'd be cool. I understand there probably is some science behind it. I just don't know it. Anyway, his unique camp activity is ice bath. Setsumaru, using his ice powers, creates a large bathing pool enough for an entire camp that shocks and restores the bodies after a long rest. If a character spends 2 hours in an ice bath plus completes a long rest or resting 8 hours, the character gains the following benefits. Basically, better fortitude saves. Due to the harsh nature of the ice bath, you can only gain the benefit of this activity once per week. This activity can only be learned or performed by a creature using spells or abilities that deal ice damages or have the cold trait. And then Kriega. Kriega has 2 camp activities. Kriega, unique camp activity. Play fetch. Kriega and Vargas work on various pet trainings and reinforce behavior training. After 2 hours, one companion gains the following effect. Basically, this makes your animal companion better. In fact, I even have this here. Kriega knows several that can benefit animal companions, familiars, or eidolons, or companions for the purpose of these activities. Neither the partner of the partner in crime subclass nor the spouse of the waifu prestige class gain these benefits. These activities can only be taught or performed by characters with a companion, as listed above. Apparently, ice baths and such do stimulate the immune system and circulation, but you need to warm up immediately afterwards. Good to know. So she can make the pet stronger or the companion stronger. She also has pet therapy. Kriega and Vargas spend 2 hours in a therapeutic session. During that time, the mental health of the companion and the character improve dramatically. Both the character and the companion gain the following benefits. Basically, a bonus to saving throws against certain things. Also, that is a reference to Perrito from, what am I thinking? Puss in Boots. I love that movie. I put that in here exclusively for Perrito. Perrito. Jesus. Got another $100? Goodness me. It'd be like that. That's awesome. Where are we at? Let's go back to the character, right. So that's Kriega and Setsumaru. I've talked about the Shadow Cats. Oh, and then Water Sword. Cool. We're almost done. Whew. Cool. Water Sword. This is Kiza, left over from my Pokemon campaign. Essentially, I just wanted a 12th NPC. She's not really attached to anyone. And I'm going to be honest, Water Sword could almost be removed from the book. She doesn't really even have like the druid class or anything. I think I just put her in here for completion's sake. Blueberry Ann. Adventuring party. She is independent. Water Sword is a river nymph who travels on her houseboat as a traveling merchant. Romance possible. Perrito. Okay, fair enough. We aren't going to no, bro. We got it's 9 o'clock. And I need to make the announcement on the Kickstarter about what we plan to do with the book. Remove the crest. Oh, actually, hold on. Real quick. I've got her new artwork. One moment. This is Water Sword's new artwork. It's still mostly the same, except we're changing the crown a bit and we're making her hair more watery. But otherwise, she's pretty much the same. This is the 12th NPC. Do you have any ideas? Oh, yeah. Romance possible. Water Sword is mostly concerned about travel and trade. So basically, she's a traveling salesman. In her backstory, she was part of the Circle of the Consortium. Actually, that's right. During that time, her public name was Waterspear and was known for her close connection to her gray tiger companion. Okay, that's right. So, accidentally, Kiza... Okay, so the lore behind this character in the Loading Crew verse is Kiza was originally a patron character who I do own, by the way. The only thing attached to the patron is her name, and even then it's barely attached. So this is my character. And essentially, she was a Suicune in the Pokemon campaign that became a very popular party member, kind of. She was the head of a ninja village, and chat really liked her, the party really liked her, and she was a Suicune that decided to live as a human. And that... when I had to expand on her backstory a bit, again, I wasn't trying to do this, but I had to put her through a character arc during one particular thing. And I wrote it so that her brothers, as in Raiko and Entei, did not approve of this, of her wanting to become human. She kind of accidentally became our trans allegory, because she was a Pokemon that wanted to live as a human. And her family didn't approve of it. And my trans friends, my trans fans really latched onto her. They loved her, especially because her colors are vaguely the trans colors too. So it did kind of work out. So it kind of worked out, and I just left it alone and I didn't really think much of it. But my aha moment was like, oh, she is our trans girl. Was a moment later in the campaign. I'm not certain if this episode has been released yet, but during one of the live stream sessions, the party held a wedding in a shopping mall that they bought. And during this time of the campaign, don't look into it, COVID basically happened. Again, I didn't do this on purpose. But basically, COVID happened. And in the story, they were approached by a news reporter who said, "What are you thinking holding a giant party in a shopping mall in the middle of a pandemic?" Well, one of the player characters quickly grabbed Kiza and said, "This is Suicune. She can cure COVID." And like they did this like on not a live recording, but on camera, just outing her in front of the world. And that was kind of my moment where it's like, how do you react to that? So like, yeah, like that's huge. I told this story to my ultra conservative mother, who, I wouldn't call her phobic, but she definitely doesn't understand. She's definitely a boober. I told this story to my mother, who like freaked out for this character. She was like, forced, like my mother specifically said, she pulled her out of the closet against her consent. Was it Lavi? No, it was Luna. Again, I put the player in a very tough situation. Luna, and by correlation, Megami, was not trying to do that. But I'm like, bro, that's a no-no. And my ultra-conservative mother felt bad for this character. Again, having a lifestyle she doesn't really get or understand. But, like, that was really powerful. And I kind of want to keep it in. So, Water Spear, being her public name, was basically her dead name. And, yeah. So that's kind of what I'm going for there. Wasn't Luna wasted? No. At that time, Luna was stone cold sober. She just wasn't, she just panicked. She just panicked. The player panicked. And I told her, it's like, you got 3 seconds to say something. And she grabbed Kiza and was like, this is Suicune. Yeah, not poggers. Not very poggers. No, definitely not. And I like that. And I kept that in, and I think Kiza's just going to be my trans character. And I think I'm just going to leave her in. So, yeah. Luna tends to get all the hard decisions. She does. It was just a Luna-ism. The doctor, you promised the doctor that you wouldn't say that again. But yeah, no, I really like that. So I'm going to keep that in. I'm just going to keep Kiza in as my secret trans character. I'm going to keep again, you notice that when I was introducing all these characters, I never actually mentioned any specific sexuality. I never specifically outright stated any of it. I always gave preferences. And that is because I feel that the best method to basically like convert a bigot, as people would call it, I think the best way to convince them to do that is to have really harsh stories. And have like these open things. Because most of the time, whenever I talk to somebody who is like homophobic or something, it's not that they have a problem like with the person themselves. They're just like really intimidated or scared by labels. And that's very, very weird to me. So I purposely left that in there. So that way, if let's say a bigoted person like reads that, they're not going to freak out and go, "This is a woke piece of media. I'm not playing this." No, it's not. It's just what it is, you know? Yeah. So I never outright stated like what a character is, but whenever I talk about Hana Buna, I am upfront and I say this is an asexual love mage, mostly because that does shorten communications quite a bit. But yeah, I don't know. Tell me what you think. I personally think that's the best way to approach introducing very diverse characters like that. Yeah, no, it was an accident. It was an accident. Is Ikiza okay now? Oh yeah, she is. Once we realize, so here's the thing. Again, because we're role playing in a public game, we realized that we kind of had to remediate that very quickly. So Luna in private approached Kiza and like apologized to her specifically. And it was very, very important to have that a hero could have a very upsetting moment, but realize their mistakes. And I do intend to make a video essay about that moment, because to me, that was kind of my aha moment for trans people too. I don't think I've ever been transphobic, but I definitely didn't understand that perspective until I played Kiza. And, or at the very least, I didn't have any idea what it could be like. I obviously don't have that experience. The closest experience I have is not liking what my body looks like, because I've always been fat and I hated that. So that is the closest that I have to that experience, even though I could never possibly understand it. And playing Kiza helped me understand that. So that's why I keep that stuff in here, and that's why I keep it subtle. Yeah. Didn't someone break the camera later? I think Amber did. She's kind of the hacker. Yeah. I don't know. That's always my approach. I like subtlety. I like making it personal. I like making it human. Again, I like making it problematic. And I think it's best when writing is problematic. That way it's the most human. If you have like a paragon of... I don't know. I'm trying to think about this. Like Twitter hates problematic writing. And I think that's very foolish. Like right now there's a big thing against what's called pro shippers. They hate people who ship people together. And they're saying like it's encouraging problematic behavior. And I'm like, no, it's not. Whenever you write a problematic story, it's not encouraging problematic stuff. It is, fiction is the safe space to experiment with fucked up ideas. And that's why I write all my characters like this. I write all of them as being flawed. I write all of them as being just wrong in some way. I write all of them with an edge. All of them with like really nasty things that undercut like some goodness. It makes just a little bit wrong. Yeah. It's funny because my ace friend, Ace does have a spectrum. For example, one of my ace friends is just a non-existent libido. Yeah. It's also a great way that their sex or gender shouldn't matter as part because it didn't find. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, I don't like, I think it's important to keep it vague. It also does allow people to change it if they need it. So for example, you know, if you don't like Hana Buna's backstory, and I get it, I do, because Hana Buna's backstory is very personal and very sad. If you don't like that, don't put it in. Yep. Writing something as obviously problematic calls attention to it and helps people notice the more subtle problematic things in real life. Yeah, no, absolutely. Careful is called X now. No one will ever call it X. It's called Twitter. That's stupid. Oh, wow. I do need to sign off. Not because it's late, but yeah, part of it. I have a lot of questions to answer on Kickstarter. I need to make the graphic. Oh, wow. Yep. I need to get going. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. I hope you had a good time talking to me. I had a great time talking to you. Hana, best girl, I can fix her as an helper. Bro, yeah, if you want to make it so Hana like rediscovers like a healthy sex life, I say go for it. I know I know quite a few asexuals who still engage, even if they don't like get, you know, if they have no drive, it's still like the physical reactions are still the same. You know, again, ace is a spectrum too. Got to be careful with that. But yeah. Anyway, see you guys. This has been a lot of fun.